My face is zooming.
And away we go. Here we are. Here we is.
Okay, there we go. All right, that's a lot better.
Here we are. Here we is.
Let's go this way. Let me scoot over a little bit. I'm ready. A little bit. Yes, I still got my Christmas tree up, y'all.
Girl, couldn't
Sorry, I
nobody
had
see
it.
that? I can it ain't okay. I see a little lightage
You
in
see
the
it? Okay.
back.
It's the St. Patrick's Day tree now.
I cannot. It's Saint
I,
Patty's.
sorry, I had it.
It ain't okay. I see a little lightage
You
in
see
the
it? Okay.
back.
It's the St.
Okay.
Patrick's Day tree now.
I cannot. It's Saint While we getting the reverb, what's happening?
Are you getting playback?
I can hear it from you. Turn something down. While we getting the reverb, what's happening?
Are you still
I
getting
can
playback?
hear it from you.
Oh,
Turn
honey.
something down.
Let me
While we
see.
getting the reverb, what's happening?
This is ghetto.
I can hear it from you. Technical difficulties. So turn something down. While we getting the reverb, what's happening? Are you on your phone and your computer?
No. Hold on. Let me.
Hey, y'all. Hey. Just waiting for this to get started the proper way. Hey, you bet.
Yes. Okay. So I had it pulled up on YouTube.
I cannot.
It was
I
playing
hear it
back.
coming from you. So, hey, y'all. What's up? It's your girl Goody, regular schmegular girl from the Bronx with the hip hop hands.
And it's Alicia Lee with the T. Hey y'all.
Hey, Lee with the T.
How do I do
So
this?
we gonna get right into it. Kanye
Woo.
West, Genius, amongst other things. First things first, though. Did you hear Cootie and Chike got $30 million for the documentary?
I did see that on Gossip.
I think that's dope. I like that for them. I think that's
Well
super dope.
well deserved amount of money though, because I mean he's been filming Kanye for the last 20 plus years.
Well, not only that, Kanye was disappearing for years at a clip. Just
Yeah.
years of gone, gone. Like,
Yeah.
and then he filled it in with, and then I had my daughter, and then she was dancing.
He did. And I think that maybe he was trying to maybe revamp and refine himself in that these disappearing acts. But I mean, it still doesn't like he uprooted his whole life and then moved to New York City simply to film this man. So he I agree he needs to have the $30 million.
I dig that for him. I want to revisit episode 1.
Okay,
Let's
go for it.
because I want to revisit episode 1. And
Okay.
you and I were talking about this. I would have washed Doug Infinite ass. I would have
Ah,
washed Doug Infinite. I would have washed Doug Infinite.
yeah,
Wash.
he
Okay.
would have had to catch these hands
He was smiling up in that man's face.
and then release the diss
Earlier
track.
in the day, 12 p.m., he's smiling in that man's face. And then, like, before you know what's going on,
A diss track
you
appears.
see in the video that you see on Cootie's footage that his man's was like, it don't matter what happens in the future. Remember that the root is love. The root is love. Oh, you mean the future 5 hours from
Right, right. It was the same day. You could at least dropped it the next day, a week later, whatever the case is. The same day. It was
now? Or
the
you could have had the discussion with him,
yeah,
at which
very
point
men.
y'all could have built. You see, but men don't do that. Men don't
Oh
have
no.
the discussion. They have tension, and they either have tension or they act like nothing happened. Then
Oh
they
yeah.
talk about they mans with their girl while they laying on their pillow. And then and then they it either goes as water under the bridge or they make a diss track.
Under the bridge. Hmm.
So
And
like
in this instance, it was a diss track.
yeah, I would have washed. Look, there ain't no way I would have been approaching that vehicle and they would have been like, you know what it is? It's all peace.
No, there
It's
ain't no
all love.
yeah, it wouldn't even been no talking. Like
Mm-mm,
somebody would have
mm-mm.
said, you know what it is, and at that point in time, you about to get these hands. I'm about to
The
pull you
talking
out of
would
this
have been on the
vehicle.
phone like, oh, so where you at? I'm pull up.
I'm
You
I'm in
see
the
how
back of
they
the
be hyping it?
I'm in the
Why
back of
you
the
do
police
me like
car.
that? But it would have been you see, everybody ain't as thug. I'm Cardi B's hype. It's on
Yeah,
site.
I'm in the back of see Chicago Police Department. I'm rolling with the big dogs.
Like I'm not, we not doing that.
Because
But it
I'm gonna beat you down until somebody pull me off of you or a police officer pulls me off of you. Whichever one comes first, I'm gonna beat your ass until then.
but
Because
I
you
can see
don't,
why he has trust issues though, because
yeah.
he really was looking up to these guys, and he was paying homage to the best of his ability. It's not his fault that Double XL went with the name they knew instead of Doug Infinite. How
And then
come No ID ain't put you out there like, oh, Doug Infinite? How come?
those are the questions that we need answered. And as I said earlier today, it may be, a hate thing where they both from Chicago and Kanye made
Envy.
it envy. Yeah. Kanye made it bigger than, I've been doing this long. I bet you he felt I've been doing this longer than him, and he got his time to shine before
And I
I
taught
did.
him how to do it.
And I exactly.
And they mentioned No ID, and No ID ain't even want to be bothered with him. But I'll tell you why they didn't mention Doug Infinite. If Doug Infinite knew the industry the way he felt like he knew the industry, he would have known what happened.
Yeah. And
He
I
would have
just
known what happened.
and and then you have to take into consideration, yes, you may have gave Kanye the blueprint to do what he is doing. However, you can never take a hood nigga out the hood and he continue to stay out. Like I feel like he wasn't going to be able to stay out of the hood. Yes, I am out making if we gave Kanye West and Doug the same blueprint to do the same things, do the blueprint with Jay-Z, do what's his name? PD Crack, all of those things that he produced, we gave them the both the same things. Doug wouldn't he would have been either in jail or killed.
Yes.
And
Rejection is
Kanye
God's
West
protection.
and in jail or killed because you still hood at heart and you just
But to me, none of them was hood enough because it would have been we wouldn't have been having no smiling with the cameras. I would have been like, yo, get that camera out my face. I ain't like how that double
but
XL article
Kanye,
boiled down.
we know that Kanye
That's
isn't
Kanye.
hood.
But Doug Infinite, if you a thug, tell me what's up in my face when this the first time you seen me, I'm showing you love. Say something. You ain't like something, say something. Cause that's why I'm problematic.
But Kanye, and I guess this, and maybe I'm wrong, but Kanye was like, "Man, fuck you! Like I'm getting money. Like
I don't think he was. I really think he was. There is this point in life where you are so naive to the way that the world is going to react to you. So
oh
naive.
yeah."
He's thinking it's all love. He found out differently with the diss track. But can you imagine the first time you home? Can you imagine?
And there's a diss track.
And you was just on the panel? Oh God.
Oh goodness, yeah.
You was
I
just
mean,
on the panel.
I don't know what else I could possibly say about that, but we would have just we would have had to fight. We
Yeah,
would have.
it
There
would have
would be
been
no
it would have been
other.
just
There wouldn't be any talking. The only solution is for me to fight, and that's it. Hey, confessions.
hey mama.
That would be the only thing we fighting. We're
We
going
would have been tussling.
in the.
No,
I
it would
could
have been
all
like, you want to hug Kanye? I'll fuck you up. Who you talking to? But
and it wouldn't even been like. But I mean, Doug, he probably had like a posse with him. Then it could have escalated very quickly.
we could have
But
got it on the floor. They know you like they know me.
yeah, but this is a
And
one
this is
on one
what it look
fight.
like now. But when I get, let me tell you another thing. I wouldn't have been a billionaire without Doug Infinite having a little flashback memory.
True,
I would have
true.
sent him Yeezys with the bottoms that fall out.
Not Yeezys with the bottom falling
Yeah,
out.
he would have thought, he would be like, "Yo, I'm sending you this for our history." And as soon as he get outside,
He ain't gonna be able to go nowhere.
they're gonna be like, "What are those?"
Socks just black. Okay, just I,
Mm-mm.
he would have like he would have been. It would have been like Batman and the Joker. Like it would have. Every time I see you, it's gonna be some fuck shit.
Yeah, it would,
That's
we would have been tired. You like, yo, I heard Kanye gonna be there. I ain't even going. I ain't got that in me. But all right. So episode one, Kanye, we see his groundwork where he just getting it going, which is cool. It's nice to see.
yes.
Then he gets signed, and you
Oh,
think it's
oh yes,
good, but now the
but it's
work,
not.
now the work got to start. Now we got to get into the work.
Yes, but he gets signed. Now, what I'm gonna say this, and you can let me know your opinion on it. I feel that Dame Dash um appreciated Kanye more as a producer and a rapper than Jay-Z did because
Yes,
um because when they go into episode 2, Dame Dash is doing the live interview, and the first question is, I heard you sign Kanye West. What are your plans with him? And then he's like, Kanye is, he's this, he's that. He's, promoting himself as we speak. But
that's
you know
the
what?
thing.
Let me
That's what Dame appreciated.
and then he said, well, what, Kanye is here. Why don't you ask him yourself? And then he allowed him to get up on a major platform to talk about what he was trying to do. He said, I'm just rapping like a regular nigga because I'm a regular nigga. And that was
So
it.
this is the thing about Jay in the moment, and even a little bit today, but he's not really focused on being a rapper as much today. From Jay's perspective, ain't nobody nicer than me, and if it's gonna be somebody nicer than me, it's gonna be my niggas. So
And
I'm gonna
I
give
just
them
feel
a shot.
like,
And it used to get crazy up in the studio, Harlem versus Brooklyn. It used to get
oh, I
nuts.
can believe it. I can definitely believe it. I always tell my mom I was born in the wrong decade. Um,
It used to get nuts.
but I I felt like my thing with Jay-Z is somebody gave you a chance. So you should have been able to give Kanye a chance. You should not have had him jumping through hoops of fire. Once he gave you the blueprint, because he gave it to you. Basically, 90% of the track beats of the blueprint is Kanye. Once he gave you the blueprint, there shouldn't have been anything else. That should have secured everything else that he wanted to do with Rock Nation. I don't know how many times they heard what the hell, I can't even think
Jesus
of the
Walks.
not Jesus Walks. Because the in episode
It
one
should
he
have
was
Izzo.
no, no, no. No, in episode one, Kanye was playing the song for the executive producer, I mean the executive assistant when they
All
stormed
falls down.
All Falls Down. When you know, when he played that, he should have after that, he should have said, listen, I'm not going to be able to give you as much studio time as you may think you need, but I'm going to give you this. They On episode 2, they did slow jam in 30 minutes.
This is the thing. They ain't had no choice.
I
They was
mean,
stealing the
and they
time.
yes, they did it in yes, they did it in Jamie Foxx. No, my
They was
mom would tell you
stealing the
something.
time. Like it was
Yeah, so he
theft.
and then Cootie said, we had to borrow time. So, they doing 10 minutes with Luda, 30 minutes with Pharrell, 15 minutes over
Favors.
here. They calling in favors, and that's perfectly fine. However, somebody that gave you, and yes, you had to pay. Yes, you got paid for the blueprint, but he gave you 90% of the beats that went number one platinum. The blueprint, we still listen to that, as I said last time. We still listen to the blueprint today. So why couldn't you give him studio time?
That's the creative component, right? Like, and I get it. But on a human level, I can see how Kanye might have been a little annoying and get the fuck out of my face. Just go make the beats. You nice, because there is a point where what episode was it? It was episode 2 where they finally get into the studio together, and Jay-Z's like, Jay-Z mentored him.
Yeah,
In that
because he
moment,
was on
he was
oh
like,
my
yo, you still got work to do. Fix this up.
episode 2 is on my TV right now. Because I was like going back and like making sure but yeah, he was like, and Jay-Z said, closed mouths don't get fed. If you wouldn't have said nothing, you wouldn't have been on that hit, which is perfectly fine. However, listen, Guru, hey, we already in the studio till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning anyway. Why wouldn't you just be like, hey, listen, I in the studio till 5, 6 o'clock on this morning. I mean, in the morning on this day. Guru is ask Guru if he is willing to work with you during this time. And yes, I'm charging you, yes, you charging me, 50, $60,000 a hit. But how about we do it for 40, and then you take that extra 15, 20,000 and put it towards your studio time so you can do the college
That's
dropout
that
and
2020. That's that hindsight 2020 business. In the moment, I could see where it's like, one, there's two things. When he got the deal from Dame, it's partially, I don't want, he's shopping himself out there. Anybody who signs him is also going to get his production. I don't want that. Two, he seems to be promoting himself heavily.
but he don't.
So I don't have to do that. Anyone who picks up on it, it's like I ain't got to do nothing,
And
because, you know,
I'm saving money in marketing
we were in
because he's
that transition phase where, like, before that, um A&Rs had to do artist development, which is unheard of. It's like there are no A&Rs now, really. So,
no.
that's why Dame signed him. From Jay's perspective, why don't he just give me the beats and shut the fuck up? I don't live my life like that. I don't know what he talking about. Ain't nobody trying to hear no Jesus bars. He ain't going to get them samples cleared. He need to leave me the fuck alone. So I get why it's not right, but I understand it. Just understanding it in the moment.
Yeah, and I get it, but and this is fool me one time, shame on me. I gave you the blueprint and you paid for it, but I gave it to you. I gave you part 50% of blueprint too, and then you signed me so that I would shut up. Basically, I would stop bombarding your offices and playing my
There's
music,
and so you so I wouldn't take these beats elsewhere. Mind
and
you,
I wouldn't
you
take
also
these
have
beats.
to remember, to this point, if a producer did an album, and Dame mentioned it, Dame was like, "Yo, I thought he was going to give me an album with a bunch of features." Now, if he's giving me an album with a bunch of features, I gotta pay these people. If I'm trying, I'm gonna have to start doing some contractual work.
But he didn't.
He didn't,
College
but they
college
didn't know.
dropout.
Like,
They see
Kanye is
see
kind
this
of
is the
like the
thing
first. He's one of the first producers who
to do
also
produce.
became a hit maker MC. He's one of the first to kind of do it in the big fashion. Other producers have done it, because I don't want to
Yeah,
hear nothing from the people who
absolutely. Other producers have done it, and he just I don't want to say the best because, but he did it almost, yeah, basically the best. He was able to produce beat after beat, hit after hit, and then turn around and do it for himself. We can talk. We everybody has sampled something from somewhere to get something. He just sampling most of the songs that we know. That's perfectly fine. However, nobody asked. Now, Jay-Z is a business person. Nobody asked the
Today,
proper
that's another thing. Jay-Z's a business person today. He
today,
was a
but
rapper then.
but nobody asked Kanye the proper questions in order for him for them to justify if he is or isn't a rapper. Like, I'm pretty sure he had money saved up from all the beats that he sold. And so I can afford my studio time, but why am I going to pay for studio time when I'm giving you stuff that's making platinum songs?
Kanye was blowing that cash,
He had to have, and that's it. But
and
I'm
not
not
on
talking.
production, and not
No,
on studio
no,
time, because
no.
in his head, studio time. Um, Jay's a Jay is a businessman today, but without Dame, we don't really. If it was left to Jay, and most people who signed to Jay, it went nowhere, and it went nowhere fast.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
can
it's
agree.
because it's hard to. I'll take a mill as an example. She's from around here. She was a major coin. Um, she was a writer and a spitter.
Hmm.
I didn't necessarily like her voice, but she was a woman spitting. I supported. Her album was a good album. Well, when it was time to promote her album, they put forth the song that would enable both Jay and Beyonce to get money. And that was not the best song on the album, and people didn't flock to it. And it was kind of like she failed. And Jay wasn't saying, "Oh, she failed because I tried to write for her."
He said she tried to do what? He tried to do what?
A Mills album flopped because Jay put when it came time with the business and everything. Cause Emil could write. She
Hmm.
he put the song that led her album was a song he wrote and Beyonce sang on.
Oh my gosh.
It tanked. That's his business perspective. So that's his business perspective and his ego. It's gonna be dope because I'm gonna write for it, and that's an idea of who he was in the moment. Then you get Dame. Dame is looking at is weighing the numbers like, yo, if I let this dude keep going and checking to see if he could get signed to other places, they're gonna take everything. They're gonna take him, they're gonna take the production, they're gonna take all that. Let me lock him in. And whatever happens, happens. But I'd rather whatever happens, happens than us lose the person who gave us our first platinum album.
Absolutely.
It's gonna
Absolutely.
it'll cost us less to give him this little advance money and keep him shut up and put him on the shelf. He even shelved himself by getting into that accident. He kind of
Well,
did it to himself.
first
He
of
didn't
all,
plan it, but
right. But first of all, see, what he should have did was, but that's just a business person and me. I'm looking at it as a business perspective. Just let this nigga get his album out, and he could shut the fuck up, because that's all he wanted to do was make a solo album. And now if he would have, and this is just a business perspective for me, if he would have recorded College Dropout, had it album ready to put off on the shelves.
packaged and ready to ship.
Yeah, packaging ready to ship. They signed off on it. He could have flew to LA on schedule to do PD Crack's album or whatever he was going to LA to do with PD Crack. Got into that accident. Album proceeds would have skyrocketed because now they feel sorry for him that he got into a car accident. Instead, you flew to LA. Now you was upset because you was at the PD Crack video, and
Somebody
they
gave
was they
you
was
stood
calling you
out.
a
You
huh,
were isolated.
and they you were upset because they called you a rapper producer. Not many rappers can say that they're great producers, and not many producers can say
Can
that they're
say that they're
great
great
rappers.
rappers.
So for somebody to co-sign full Rockefeller, all in the Rockefeller camera, all in the videos, for somebody of that caliber say that I'm saying that he is the best rapper producer I have ever met and I'm a part of Rockefeller, that should be an honor. He was like, no, I don't want to be a producer. I'm a
Can you
rapper.
but can you imagine for a second being in this room with people who will definitely demolish someone? Like that's just what they did, it's how they did, like some on-site people, and this dude just talking crazy, and you just it's kind of like, okay, all right, okay,
And then,
let's move
what
on.
but the next thing is in the same scene, what's his name was like, this nigga a producer and I ain't got no beats from him.
Right.
Uh uh young man, let's step outside real quick because you're not gonna talk to me crazy and still think you about to get some beats from me.
Yes, I am. Cause they about to put my album out, and do you want your production heard or not? In the time, they thought he wanted his production heard. I think,
But
although it sucked, I think he needed those chips on his shoulder. He needed
oh
to
yeah,
have something to prove, and
but
that's why it was great.
but I felt like yeah, as we said, they boxed him in like another Capital, Interscope, Interstate, all of these other companies could have picked him up, let him do what he does best, produce and, rap, gave him the free will. But Jay-Z was just like, I'm just going to, I'm gonna sign
Pacify
you.
him.
Yeah, I'm gonna sign you as a rapper, but you still got to give us our beats, and then we're gonna degrade you on your own documentary. On top of that, because you signed us now, so you can't do anything. You can't do nothing.
So,
And then you turn around and get into a fucking car accident where your
and
jaw is fired.
you now it's like, what can we do with you? You laid up, your jaw wired shut. What the fuck? You know what? We're gonna put you on the shelf. I'm glad that he saw fit to push through all of these issues.
I
However,
agree.
I remember in the time, what we saw on the video was different to what I envisioned rhyming through the wire was. In the moment, in the time, like in the time when he did it, his jaws wired shut. I envisioned
The picture where his face was like a puffer fish.
no,
I
I envisioned I ain't envision him having the ability. I was like, yo, he did that.
and then he went to the dentist and they took the wires out. I was like, so you
um,
mean mini braces? That, that was some mini
that's
braces.
all I'm saying. Cause in my head, at the time, cause I remember the time, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo,
I said
word?
that was some
He
mini
was
braces.
rhyming
That's what,
through the wire. They
yeah.
didn't need to show me that. I like thinking that he was life support. Like I prefer.
Now I'm gonna say this. Maybe it was a lot worse when he was on the phone with Cootie. Maybe it was a lot worse than what we seen when he went to the dentist because
Absolutely, but I want to know what it looked like when he was like,
it,
what
it,
you get?
it
I was like, oh, he could do this. I didn't know he. I thought he couldn't do that. I thought it
I
was
don't think he could. I don't think
because
that he could.
I feel like when 50 got shot in his jaw, and 50 was like, nah, I still got to rhyme. Like,
Yeah,
because for 50,
okay, so we
it
had the
was
same
like,
mentality. That was yes, I felt that way. I didn't think as far as 50, but now that you say it, yes, the thing, I still gotta hey, put a gauze on there. Put a
like,
gauze on
I
there.
gotta go to studio. I gotta go to studio. This is the thing. I heard something hilarious over the weekend that speaks to Kanye always being challenged. My homegirl was telling me, she was like, yeah, when cause when I was in the industry, a lot of what I did not have any engagement. I wasn't trying to be cute. Like if I was going to the studio, it was in a fitted, camos, Tims, period. We going to a party? Or are we going to this? Don't invite me to the party. When we going to the studio? My homegirl took a different approach. So she met Cootie because Cootie was a cutie, right? And that's how she moved throughout the industry. She said when she met Kanye, he
Mm-hmm.
was telling her how Lenny S, because she had told Lenny S, like, yo, I'm listening to his mixtapes. Y'all need to do something with him. And Lenny told Kanye, and Kanye was like, yo, you know what I've been hearing? Because you remember he dropped at the same time as 50, right?
Right.
Why he gonna tell her that he's hearing that it sound like 50 Cent bit his style?
That is confidence, boy, ain't it?
They don't
That's
sound anything alike.
no.
The
But
album, the projects sound like two different projects.
and it is two different projects because 50 talk about being a drug dealer, gang banging out in these streets
Right. You
where
want to know what makes sense? Two things make sense to me right now, though. Right?
hmm
If 50 was like, yeah, I got shot up and I still recorded my album, and yeah, they messed my jaw up and I still recorded my album, perhaps that's what Kanye meant. I'm gonna mention that to my homegirl and be like, maybe he meant this. Because we was both sitting there like, yeah,
he
he
delusional. That's
yeah, we were
delusion.
like, yeah,
Oh,
that don't make no
whew.
damn sense. There's that. And years later, when he was like, yo, let's both drop our album on the same day and see who gets the most sales. Remember when he did that with 50?
I do remember.
That's the axe he was grinding. Like he's grinding that.
Wow, that was 20 years later? Maybe no, that about
However many years later, it was
it had
definitely some Grammys later, right?
yeah, definitely. But Kanye has more Grammys than 50.
That's not the point to Kanye.
So I listen, I would have
Kanye
pulled the whole
really
I would
thought that 50 was biting his style. So years later, he's like, let's see who's the hottest. What year was that?
I mean, but I would have pulled with that you know, many Grammys afterwards. I'm about to see how many I'm looking up how many Grammys Kanye
This was
got right now.
2007. That's not it.
Kanye has 21 Grammys. 21. Okay. Kanye has 21 Grammys. And listen, Kanye, I would have pulled the whole baby face when he had his when he went up against Teddy Riley in the verses and he had two Grammys behind him because that's how many Grammys Teddy Riley has won. Meanwhile, Babyface got 15 Grammys.
First
I
of
got
all,
listen.
you reminded me of that. Where Teddy? Where Teddy? Somebody tell me when
Where,
Teddy come
where
back.
where's the Fisher Price microphone?
Yo, but whatchamacallit? Teddy learned him some IG after that. Teddy be on IG with his stuffs now. Like Teddy know IG today.
Okay, Teddy
He learned
IG.
that IG. He took
I
his
would have
old ass
said,
and learned that IG.
I would have said, listen, sir, I, I have 21 official Grammys. You've been nominated for 14 and only won one. You have one Grammy to my 21 Grammys. 21 to one.
This is
I,
the thing.
let it
If you
go.
just thinking back, to that verses, I'm like, oh, so Teddy just didn't go to school. Teddy was like, fuck class. Because there's no way he should have been producing for Keith Sweat. Ain't no way. Yeah, I was watching. I was like,
It was a lot of Babyface threw a lot. But you know what? That's the same thing as Chris Cross. Jermaine Dupri found them in a goddamn shopping mall. So they was just but if they I guess if you
no,
believe
Teddy had
in
to be
some
like 14, 15 going to
he
produce for
had to, but Jermaine Dupri wasn't that much older anyway, and he was producing Chris Cross, Escape. He had a whole they ain't even Um,
Nah, you not
th-
feeling me on the difference, yo. Teddy was leaving his house. Either he told his mom fuck school, or he was like,
he wasn't
I'm
just
gonna
go, or he
pretend
wasn't
I'm going to
going.
school.
But Jermaine Dupri was had to be doing the same thing because he said I had all these artists on and I ain't have nowhere for them to record.
Lord, but yeah, you know, that's the
So
funny. Kanye been
you
a
produced
little bit
Keith Sweat at 14. At 14?
making him sound real good because Keith's still fine, but he can't
No,
sing.
he don't know how to keep his hands to himself. And I'd have been on the episode of Snap, so
Yeah, you
he's
know,
still hands. He's
well,
still
he's
hands.
fine as well. Like live and in person, you just be like, oh wow,
As a matter
that's
of
the
fact,
older man that they
He'll
be
be here
talking
next
about.
month.
He the older man they be talking about.
Yeah,
Mm. But yeah, so
that's
Kanye,
Mr. Jimmy who be down at the steakhouse. That's Keith Sweat, but he don't he don't know how to keep his hands to himself. So he got to keep
first
on.
of all, you would know a lot of people would be mad at me. I'd be in everybody jail. I couldn't be on Nobody Ready to Love. I couldn't be like, I'm not made for TV in that way.
No, because let me tell you something. I ain't even. I might trip you down a flight of stairs or something. But hold that one thought. Let me call my brother. You better hope you kill me before my brother get here because if you don't, he is going to get you. And that's it. That you listen and then you better go straight to BWI and be on the first international flight to somewhere else because if my brother gets to you first, you're a dead man
So
walking
I'm just not meant. I'm not meant for any of these
because
things.
you can't. He don't
I
know how to
ain't
keep
meant to
his
be
hands to
like he
himself.
picked me up. I ain't meant to be like no, I didn't know
No,
if I went to
because
continue the process.
It will be Ike and Tina Turner in the limo scene all the time.
We would be down to the Ready to Love, and I would be at that table sitting down like this, and Tommy would be like, "Goody,
His arm still broke.
goody. You can't hit people, and why? Why are you
Yes, I
still
can.
here?"
Yes, I can. I can. You yes, I can hit people because he put his hands on me first. Listen, I don't give a fuck if your raggedy ass football team lost, your basketball team lost. You're not coming home and putting your hands on me because
Tommy would
yours.
have been like, "Is there something you want to talk about?" Oh, no,
No,
I'm
because
good.
he
I'm
going
good.
no, because
Y'all
the next
good?
time, yes. Listen, because the
Y'all
next time he
good?
put his hands on me, he gonna be talking to this fist, and that's it.
So
That's it.
I ain't good with the I don't even play fight with men. I'd be like, no, I don't play fight.
No, I'm good. No, we're not doing this because you're gonna hit me too hard, and then I'm gonna punch you in your jaw, and then we're gonna be in here really fighting. I can't do it. I can't. I can't do it. Kamisha, I did not. What I told you earlier, I'm not a big fan of Joe Budden. I only got through 45 minutes of the interview.
I
Um,
really I have a love hate relationship with
with
Joey.
Joe,
Joey.
Joey, yeah. So I'm
I
not
think
a.
I think Joey might be on that narcotic again.
Yeah,
Joey been bugging. So I leave him alone.
I can agree with that.
I feel like he
I
back on that. He back on something. It might not
yeah,
be the
I'm not
narcotics
a
of
big
yesteryear, but it's the best. Look how Whitney Houston said, "I don't do crack. I don't do
crack
crack.
is whack.
Crack is what I don't do crack. I got money.
Yeah, yeah. So
I got money."
I got money. So you mean to say you do cocaine? Because that's
That's not what I said. I said I got money and I don't do crack.
yeah.
That's what I
Well,
said.
people with money they don't do crack. They do cocaine because they can afford it.
Correct. He on something though, cause
So yeah,
mm-mm.
I'm gonna have to. I might have to do that one solo dolo. Because I got to get through the rest of the hour interview with him. I wasn't now
Was
me
she
and Rich.
screaming? Was she in scream mode? I
No,
don't
she was
really
very
do Nikki
she
like that.
well, and I said this earlier, like her voice, it is a little bit annoying, and I just got through 45 minutes of it, and that's fine. But I'm not a big fan of Joe. Now, me and Rich would listen to his podcast when he had a Rory and Maul and
I listen
what's
to
the
Rory and Maul still.
yeah, I listen to Rory and Maul still too. But I can't think of the fourth dude that was on the Joe Budden podcast with them. But I would listen to I would listen to them. They 4 or 5 hour podcast. because
Mm-hmm.
it would be long. So we listen to it. We'll get up on Saturday or Sunday and listen to it. But I'm just he just has hater feminine ways during those podcasts.
He
And
swear, yeah, he has his issues. I mean, we fight, so
yeah, so and that's just how I feel about that. So we
no,
have our
this is the we would fight. Just we would fight. That's all me. You said nah, because I ain't trying to go to jail.
and see it should have been to knocked him down a flight of stairs, but you want to act like a girl. I'm about to treat you like one. I'm gonna knock you down these flight of stairs. So
Mm,
that's all I got. That's all I got.
yeah,
See it. Bless her
yeah,
heart.
I
Yeah.
can't. But what we were saying, what Kanye was doing in the second, stealing. When people do music, right? Everyone tries to aim for success like Kanye. One wasn't going to be many people who could steal MTV video equipment at night to shoot their video.
That listen, white people will call it dedication.
Mm, that was thievery. Somebody was stealing the company time.
White people will call it dedication.
Somebody was
Oh,
they was
little
stealing the
little little
company
little
time and
little,
resources.
Little Jimmy. He just knew. Look, the Beastie Boys. They just knew that they were going to be popular. They just needed to. No, Kanye still it. That nigga hope he better be happy that he ain't in federal prison still.
Okay, but wait a minute. What about this? Jamie Foxx will look a whole mess. Ooh, child. Thank
Oh,
God for
listen,
money.
hold on,
Thank
because
God
that
for
was
more money because he had enough money to have a whole studio, but he didn't have enough money to clean himself up and get.
so. That is one of my favorite songs. So when Cuddy was like, we was at Jamie Foxx, we was in the studio with Jamie Foxx. I was like, okay, they're not about to do slow jams, but they did the original. Hold on, because I'm still on episode 2, because that's at the beginning. That's at 30 minutes. They did the original. Hold on, I'm almost there. I'm moving fast. The way of technology. They did the original slow jam, and I loved because I have a keen of detail. So me listening to something that I didn't hear on the regular basis, but me hearing the raw version of it, I'm like, wait a minute, why y'all didn't put this version out? Like, but I understood that there came with some editing. Hold on, because I'm about to get to it. But Jamie Foxx, he looked like
He looked bad. He looked just like
it was the
Wanda.
BDB. It was the BDB braids for
Hmm.
me.
It was
The
just bad.
twisted.
It was just all bad. But like Kanye had to do a lot to get his record off the shelf.
Yeah, he did. Sorry, I
Do
was
a lot
rewinding
to
it.
get his record off the shelf. He had to get himself booked for Def Comedy Jam. Like
But you know what? How I will appreciate the dedication because he called in a lot of favors to get college dropout off of the shelf. And I would have called in every favor that I had. Hey, remember when we went over and I ain't charge you that extra 15K? Hey, I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that, and you're gonna need to give me 15, 20 minutes of studio time. Hey,
a vision of what Kanye was doing and how Kanye was doing it indicates to me that he got a lot of what he needed to get by being annoying.
I don't think so. I don't.
The
I think
poor man.
I think he played a game of chess, not checkers, because because he knew what his end goal was going to be. He knew what he wanted to do. So I might have to take a little pay cut because I'm gonna have to call in for a favor. I may have to call in for a favor later on. So I appreciate it. All right, if he didn't take a pay cut or he didn't let these artists go over or these other producers go over, he would not have been able to call in these 15 minutes here, 30 minutes here, 45 minutes there, go into somebody's home studio. he wouldn't have been able to call in any of those
And then after you
favors.
do all of that, you have to mix the shit down. And the producer can't be the engineer.
Well, I mean, I get that, but
Like, you know, he did a lot. He did a lot of groundwork in an effort to get it put out, and it was well worth it.
yeah, it but in order for him to record it, because you can't mix nothing that ain't recorded. You can't mix
Oh
nothing that
yeah,
ain't
for sure.
recorded.
He did a whole bunch of work, but like just the recording process is like so cumbersome because you do have to. You got to hear the track. Is it the right track? You got to write to the track, or you
But
can
I
write.
will say that I am not surprised that he recorded slow jams they recorded slow jams as quickly as they did, because Jamie walked in, he was like, "Hey, hey,
Do,
hey,
do, do, do.
do 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 do," and Jamie was like, oh yeah, I like that," and then he was like, "Let me see if I can." Here, I can play the little snippet because I got it on. It's on the exact part right here. It's gonna be a little loud because it's on my TV in the living room. So hold on. Yeah, that's the whole shit. Okay. Yeah. Y'all don't even know what I love this beat right here. I know he's seen it, but still. So right. So those who haven't seen it, I'm gonna pause it right quick. So those who haven't seen this episode, this is the scene where he was like telling Jamie what he needs to say, and Jamie is like already feeling the beat, everything. It's hard to get somebody to do it, to feature and then audit off top like everything.
If Jamie wasn't a trained singer, they probably wouldn't have pulled it off because he would have had to explain that a lot more.
And then on top of that, Kanye didn't even have all of his lyrics when
And,
he.
and then I'm
Wait, let me just play this through. Let me just play this through. Because this is the part you was just talking about. So we get our grind on. She be grabbing on me, Biggie like shine on. When I swear she fine on. But she always lying on. Telling me them diamonds, but she know they rhinestones. When I get on my that's all I got right now. So you don't even have the full song. And I feel like there's a possibility that some of these songs that we have learned to love by Kanye, he probably freestyled on them.
because I mean, what Kanye was trying to show us is that he's an MC. He wanted to be an MC. He just happened to be able to produce. Or rather, his mom saw that he needed something to do and sent him down to the people that she had down to the school. And that's how No ID and would have got your ass bus. uh Doug. That's, she was like, no, you need to go down there and learn something. But nothing short of amazing. Nothing short of amazing. I appreciate the song. I appreciate all of
Oh,
the songs. And
oh,
then
yeah. And putting Twister on the remix, that he said, I can't do it that fast, but I know somebody who can. Let me push it over to Twister. That was genius.
this is my thing.
That
He
was
does all
genius.
the groundwork. He steals resources from MTV, records his video, and then he's doing his video. He's gonna debut the video. And
Oh,
mad heads come out because I know why everybody was up in the conference room trying to see this video, because they know his ass was on the shelf. Where he get this video money from? How he got a video? We gotta see what this looked like. And they weren't really respecting him up in that room at that point either.
yeah, but if it was Brett or Jonathan or Brandon, they would have been applauding. But you can't be mad that a black man outthought y'all.
No, but they didn't know. They didn't. They were like, well, what the hell he's showing us? 400 people show up. Let's dial back for a second though. There was a moment that when he plays the song for Pharrell, and Pharrell just gets up and walks out the room.
But Pharrell later on said, we still talking about episode 2, right?
I think it's episode 2.
Yeah, wait. Oh, that's the next scene after slow jams. Where he was like, I didn't know. I didn't
I had
I did
nobody knew. It wasn't done like this before. Pharrell's a producer slash
number
artist.
one, you and me. I
You know what
listen,
I'm saying? Like Pharrell would have been, let's just say, I'm sure Pharrell wishes he could rhyme like Kanye.
I can agree. I
Because
That
even
is
a
something
lot
that
of
I
the
can agree
things
with.
that Pharrell did do was written for him by somebody else.
Yes, but he did a great job with, the Neptunes. And I feel like, because I'm going through the Rolodex. Once you do a feature with Jay-Z, your career just
Oh, for
goes
sure.
down, because he did Beautiful with Uncle Snoop before they did Frontin'. Frontin' came out after Beautiful. And well, wait a minute. Let me take it back. He did Margarita with Sleepy Brown first. Then he did Beautiful with Snoop, and then he did Frontin' with Jay-Z. And then, oh, he when did number one come out? Number one came out about the same time
Quiet
of
as Kept, he did a lot of drugs as well. Like if if you saw him um disappearing, like a lot of people have these things to say about Push, and like, dang, you all told you wasn't even selling no drugs.
it don't matter. It
Not to the I didn't have to push it all out in the street, because the dude
it's right
who I'm
here.
giving the most of it to is also my producer. Snow White for
So I
sure.
can I can sell. You are my producer, so you can give me beats in exchange for drugs.
Cause them boys get honest like Kanan from Power. Let's just say that. Them boys
So
get it honest for their grandmother was
and that's that. My mom always says, and this is just for in Kanye's instance, you can have negative $27 in your account one day, and the next day I'm gonna say, you got $270,000, and it's gonna burn a hole in your pocket. Now you have easy access to the best drugs, the best women, and you do what Nickelback say. You- I'm gonna get a Playboy money to blow all of my money, and I got access to all the latest drugs. That's a true statement, when especially when you don't come from money. Now, not everybody in this instance can blow money as quickly as Kanye did, because in 2002, whenever he moved to you had enough funds to move to New York City, and it seems like that was it, because you had already said in episode 1 that people were
running
paying
into
you.
the studio because you couldn't afford to jump on the train. Or it
Right.
definitely wasn't gonna be no cab.
Exactly, because that is even though it was 10 blocks, it was easily $70. But my thing is this: you you are saying in episode 1 that people are paying 30, $40,000 per beat. If you do 5 beats in a week, and they all how is the $40,000 being paid?
Well,
Because
yeah, they don't they
40
don't pay you
times
like that.
5
They
is
don't pay you like
200.
that.
So
You
if you
get your
make
money
200,
when you get your money.
see, and me being the business part, listen, we're gonna need, you already know what kind of caliber producer I am. It's gonna need to be half of it. I'm about to act like these people out here that's doing hair and doing nails. It's a 50% deposit up front. So therefore, you need to come with $20,000, and then we gonna do direct bill. You got 25 days to pay.
Um Hip hop moved so, like, this is
And I
one of the few, well, no, I had a whole bunch of problems with hip hop. But I've always been, um, I've always had a business mindset, always had like school, always had like this strong family backing. However, a lot of people expected me to be beggy beggy, or I was like, yo, if it's gonna cost money, how much money is gonna cost? But they didn't want me to. Hip hop pays funny, and especially when you not when they can smell that you want to be here and you're not here yet, it gets real baggy and real. I'll see you. It gets real. Five heartbeats, red holding. What I told you my business hours was. Don't ask me nothing. Don't ask me nothing. They treat you. They get real big red after you done giving them the creativity. They get real big red on your ass.
But and so at this point in time, but see, Kanye, my thing is this: the energy and confidence that Kanye had when he was making these beats, doing, trying to, he, I understand he was chasing a dream, but he wasn't paying attention to the people that was getting over on him when he was getting to that dream.
You couldn't afford
Because,
to.
huh?
You pay attention to that.
Yeah, so he
You're
had to,
not going.
because
You want to
let me
stop
tell you
pushing
something.
forward.
If I had 1/4 of the talent that Kanye had, and you charging motherfuckers $40,000 in to make a beat, and at that point in time, back in the 90s, the songs was 4 or 5, almost 4 or 5 minutes long. I'm charging you $40,000. Listen, I got to put all this time into making this beat. You're gonna need to give me 25 to 50% up front. Be it, and even if you happen to run off on the remaining 15, $20,000, I'm still gonna be able to say I got 15, 20,000. Don't come to me at this point in time. Kanye said it. Don't come to me if you ain't got my money. If you ain't got half of my money, don't come,
But he
because
was
I'm
playing
not
chess.
getting.
Well, not checkers, like you said. And even like when we look at him today and the drop of Donda 2 and the reality that he put it on his stem player, which took him out of the Billboard, the running to even have it chart on the Billboard. He's willing to take certain L's because that stem player is kind of brilliant for
Yeah.
DJs and producers. That stem player is kind of brilliant, and he's willing to take the L on his album if he can get the stem player in motion. So
Hmm.
we know he's willing to take the L. What else you want to discuss from episode 2?
Um. Whew, other than Jamie Foxx looking the way that now, and don't get me wrong, I'm a big Jamie Foxx fan. I just did not, and I understand he was at home, so he was in the, getting a
He was
little
looking
comfy,
rough.
comfy.
I bet you would have no camera on me looking rough, rough, rough.
Woo! He could at least put on a do rag or something. That is, but episode, because it was so long, the episode was almost 2 hours long. Um, it was just, mostly about him getting college dropout. It
Putting it together.
doing the work of college dropout.
And then getting you like it was also him getting put on the shelf and
Hold on,
finally
let
getting
me put
pulled
it on
off
you.
the
I don't
shelf.
know why my
Can't hear you, mama. Can't hear you.
sorry, I don't know what my
Somebody
mama.
called you.
Yeah, my mama called me while in the middle of my live, so I was like, "Why are you calling me? I'm in the middle of my live." But she'll call down to the Pentagon if I don't answer the
Mm-hmm.
phone. So
Mm-hmm.
so yes, I'm really upset that they did Jamie Foxx the way
I
they
know he
did
looked
him.
back at that like, damn, I look poor. Like,
No, no, oh, no, no,
damn, I
no,
look
no,
poor.
no, no. I know he looking back like, damn, I done came a long way. But he
Nah,
had a
but you know
studio.
when you done clean yourself up and now here comes somebody posting the whack picture of you, you be like, yo, or people, you with your homegirls and everybody, you take all the pictures and the
And
one
you the
picture,
only one that look raggedy?
the
Oh
one,
my
not that
good.
if they your real friends, they ain't only post that, but how that make it into the role? Like,
But oh, okay. So I'm gonna go with this. I'm 100% sure that it made it into the role because they were doing slow jams, and that was
oh, for
you.
sure. But I would have been like, well, damn, y'all got to do this
I
part.
don't, but I don't even, and to be quite honest, I don't even, we don't even know if they consulted with Jamie or they could be like, he'd be like, yeah,
No,
put
but
that
I mean,
in.
he did Wanda, right? Like he did all that stuff. He fine. He did things looking horrible. He accustomed to them old school joints where he looked bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Terrible.
that's not the only footage of we seen. This that is not the only footage of us seeing Jamie Foxx. No, it's the only footage that we see on Jamie Foxx on this, series. But we've seen Jamie Foxx looking rough because breaking all the rules. When he filmed breaking all the rules, that hair that he got in this series is terrible.
Oh, so I think we are still in episode 2
Yes.
when he's going to do the video for Jesus Walks. Hold on, Biscuit, if you do not
Yes.
out.
Oh, you got it. I was like, I don't have a
I have a
cat.
cat named Biscuit.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I was like, I hear a cat, but I'm like, it's not me, so it's
It was
okay.
Biscuit. But
Oh,
yeah,
Biscuit.
so
Okay.
he decides he don't want Cootie to do the video. He going to Hollywood. He getting
I
hyped
don't
to do the video.
yeah, and you know what?
Cootie
My
called it.
don't forget where you came from. This
Cootie
means
called it. Cootie
this
was like, "You
he's
gonna
not
go down there, hype gonna be like this, that, and the third, and you ain't gonna like it. You gonna do the video, and then you gonna call me. What happens?"
he did the exact same thing. My thing is this. I so this is why I have so not because he is a phenomenal athlete, but this is why I have so much respect for LeBron James. LeBron James' agent is not signed to any management company. He is and he didn't know anything about
Rich
representing
Paul.
Rich Paul. He didn't have at that time any knowledge on representing an athlete of a caliber of LeBron James, and LeBron James continued to have this man as his agent to this day. He did not forget where he came from. I'm gonna go with him. And I felt like Kanye should have kept Cootie on set when he did Jesus Walk. You have been with me since the beginning, where I ain't have no money, where I was in a car crash, my mouth was wired shut, I was blowing my money. You need to be here because this right here is all, not my just my come up. This is our come up. This is our come up.
Not only
All.
should he have been, even if he wasn't there for all of that, why wasn't he there to catch the footage?
And that part
Because
too.
you Hollywood now.
You Hollywood now. So I exactly. So I felt like at a point in time he was just like, I don't need him anymore because I can have somebody else recording my life.
He
But
tried to be humble about it though. He was like, "Look, everything else. I mess with you, but Jesus Walk is big, man. We need hype. We need hype on it. You could see it."
but my thing is this. You talking to somebody that was channel zero who is was big in the black community. We knew who he was. So you need black people in order to make this hot. And
But
then
I mean, again, the funny thing about all of that is this is Kanye who fought to get where he was, and nobody believed he could do it, and he did it. And then he turns around
and does it to
and
Cootie.
he does the same thing because this is the reality. In that time period, if you wanted a video done and you wanted everyone to have their eyes on it, Hype was the one who was going to do it. But I don't know what kind of vision he thought he was going to get for Jesus Walks.
Now,
He
don't get me wrong.
wanted it to be a
Oh,
movie,
oh, Hype.
okay.
We talking about Hype Williams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he did I mean, he did
The videos
Beyonce.
in the 90s.
Yeah, and he did check on it with Slim Thug and Beyonce and you know what? I'm and because now I'm connecting dots in my mind. I would not be surprised if Hype Williams was secretly on Rock Nation's payroll.
I'm sure he was,
And I say that only because
of the videos he did.
yes, and of the videos that he did, but now that I'm thinking of all of the videos that he did all of Destiny's Child videos.
But at the
Um,
same time, Hype was if you wanted the video to
and
be
he was
dope, you was
and
going on Hype.
I'm not discrediting that, he wasn't
Mhm.
because, Hype world premiere, world premiere. I listen, I would say who produced this? Hype what was the other one? Hype Williams or not Triple X. What was his last name? It was something X. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna save that for the next one. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jay was like, "Hey, this is the video that you need to shoot."
Hype Williams did was it Scrubs?
With TLC,
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not
He did
surprised.
all of,
I
when you look at what he did, cuz Hype was supposed to be, cuz before videos was just a bunch of dudes getting together and shooting in their hood, but then Hype started giving you like a storyboard.
oh my goodness, not he did. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he was on. Um,
He was the independent
Be the
contractor.
contractor.
And,
Absolutely. I
and he was
wouldn't
probably like, wait, he probably wanted to do the Jesus Walks video.
and that's perfectly fine. However,
He shouldn't have got first crack at it.
no, no, no. Now I'm on Wiki because I don't want to. We on Beyonce's internet. I do not want to give wrong information. He Kanye has collaborated with Hype Williams on 20 music videos.
I'm sure they're throwing Jesus Walks in there.
So when you put Hype, somebody who has produced, oh, what did I say? Check on It by Beyonce. Yeah, because that's one of my favorite songs. So and wait a minute, I didn't know that he did Rock the Boat with Leah. Now I'm reading and I didn't know that he did.
Like if you had a video, you want a Hype to do it.
Exactly. In the late 90s, early 2000s, I can agree. But damn, he did video phone for Beyonce video phone. That was ooh, okay. All right, listen, I'm a big fan of Hype, so I don't have anything negative to
My
say.
problem is where Kanye started going with his vision, and then like I feel we start getting to it. Is it in two when he started losing his goddamn mind?
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say when
Yeah, it's
this
in
is what,
two he
and
started losing his mind.
I'm gonna keep saying this. For somebody that uplifted me my whole entire life and gave me, the credit that I have in
Was
everything,
someone who saw me the way I saw myself.
yes, passes away, who is going to give me that affirmation? Nobody. There is nobody as equivalent to Donda, aka his mom, that is nobody's going to be able to give that affirmation that he is seeking other than when he started dating and then married Kim Kardashian. The Kardashian Jenner family, they had the status, they had the money, and let me tell you something. Chris Jenner, that girl can sell ice to a polar bear.
I buy it.
Ice to a
Let me
polar
tell
bear.
you, I was watching the Kardashians until it was the 72-day marriage that did me in. I was like,
She can sell ice to a polar bear. and an Eskimo. Okay, that's how that Chris Jenner was born with the gift of gab, and she can sell ice to a fish, a polar bear, a Eskimo. She can sell whatever she sell. And you know what she sold? She sold all of her daughters, but that ain't ain't none of my
That's
business.
neither here nor there.
But what he was looking for when Donda died,
Was family.
it was family, and
And
he
they
felt that.
you can say whatever you want, even when they beef, where they seemingly have beef, and the sister that's what sisters do. Sisters get on each other's goddamn nerves. But
Oh
those
yeah.
that's a family right there.
So he found what he filled that void with the Jenner Kardashian family, which is why he is going through this crisis of life because his family has been snatched away from him, and the woman that his wife they gave kids together or whatever is now out with what the fuck is his name?
Pete.
Pete. So yes,
I don't blame her.
I mean, first of all, we everybody told you that you shouldn't have married this woman anyway
I
because
believe
every
she loves him and she loved him to the best of her ability.
to the best of her ability. However, you were looking to feel something that you couldn't feel. You weren't going to be able to feel what you were trying to the void that you were trying to feel with the Jenners and the Kardashians because that is not their yes, they are a family, but at the same time, they about their money, they about aesthetics, and they are going to do whatever is best for their family. You aren't a part of their
I
family. You
if
are
I
married.
to be fair to them, I think they tried to make him a part of their family. I don't think they
I don't
banked.
think so because he
They
was the
didn't
only
bank.
black husband. Scott is white, and Tyga or Travis Scott, whichever one you want to go to,
Lamar was a husband if Lamar wasn't doing all the drugs.
given to him by who? Chris.
Lamar was a husband. Lamar and Rob were close too. Like
But but Rob is what? Not
he's
black. Okay. My
Mexican, ain't
my point is
he? You
so
know he was just telling people he Mexican.
that's fine. But when the Kardashian men, when you marry a Kardashian, that's you know what? It's just like the NFL when you are a terrible quarterback and they send you to another team so your career can end. So you're gonna go to the Browns, you're gonna go to the Dolphins, you're gonna go to teams where don't nobody care about because we no longer need you over here. So he had already gave us Donda 2. He, you know, I mean, although he was still giving us them homeless clothes with the Yeezy clothesline, mm, he just wasn't. They was just like this ain't enough. Now, if Pete's network net worth is more than Kanye's, my point is going to stand. However, they felt that at this point in time, I have nothing else left for you, or and I don't expect anything else of you, so I'm going to go ahead and disregard you, as they did with
I you
Lamar
see, I
Odom.
want to be fair
Because
to them. Well, I actually don't want to be fair to them. However, um, I have very intimate experience with someone who is mentally unstable. Um, it is so hard
oh yeah, it
to
is.
love on someone who refuses to take their medication. And as the person who's not taking their medication, especially a creative like Kanye, he can't take the medication and create to the level that we've seen. As a matter of fact, in order for him to create, he does have to have a psychological break because he can't take the medication. It cannot be easy dealing with that.
But my thing is this: the amount of money that both of them have, and I mean the Jenner Kardashian and West have, Kanye West has, And I understand that maybe this may not work all the way, but listen, you need to have at least a therapy session 1 hour a day.
Not if he don't want it. Let me tell you something about the mentally unstable. My aunt, who like on the Wednesday we recorded, I like right before you and I went live, I found out that my cousin found my aunt in her apartment. She was gone. Um, she was dead. But my aunt was a paranoid schizophrenic. This woman
Right.
has almost had me arrested so many times.
Ooh.
Why? She would stop taking her medication, be in mental breakdown. I would be trying to, myself and the rest of my family would be trying to get her into a psychiatric hold. The cops would show up and she'd be like, I'm fine. I don't know what they're talking about. And if it wasn't for the fact that the EMS or the EMTs had experience coming to my house and taking her, there are many a times I would have ended up in handcuffs. That's how the mentally unstable can get when they ain't trying to take their medication, they ain't trying to go into an institution. And then the Kardashians are very conscious about the optics. So I'm sure they tried to contain it, but it's not something that you can contain, which is what we experience when we get to episode 3.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. I
Like,
mean, well, yes.
everything we saw in episode 3, I have
It
direct
well,
experience.
well, we agreed that it was very hard to watch episode 3.
Oh yeah, it was hard, and it was difficult, especially for me because I was dealing with the loss of my aunt at the time. And I'll be honest, like one of my biggest fears about my aunt was that I would get a call and she'd either be missing or she would have done something to someone that put our name in the news.
Mhm.
Uh, but before we go to that part, Kanye blows up. Kanye wins a Grammy,
Mm.
and Kanye has Cootie fade to black.
And that is something that I've just he accomplished, and I'm gonna say this. He accomplished their goal because it is their goal because Cootie was with you when you ain't have nothing. You ain't have no money. Your mouth was wired shut. You bombarding studios. You He was with you at the very beginning.
And you
So
keep
there
mixing his name up like you win a Grammy. And didn't he won something for Jesus Walks, didn't he? For the
yeah,
video.
but that was hype. Who you gonna say? I want to give
No,
a
no.
shout out.
So Cootie did. He had to get Cootie back in to do the video because everything Cootie said he would happen, everything he said would happen happened, and then they had to go and He did the video. That was a waste of money. He did the video and had to scrap it because he ain't like the vision.
But my thing is this: when you have somebody like Cootie
A rider.
recording you on a regular basis, he knows what you want, he know what you like. So why wouldn't you, when you blew up, why wouldn't you put Cootie's name on Jesus Walks as the producer? And now you
Like a
know
lot of people understood that he did
you
it.
remember you know how Hype Williams do. The screen is black and Hype Williams come in all white, and then it panoramics to the video. Why wouldn't you give Cootie the
That you
same
wanted.
the yeah, and or the same flowers that that you gave Hype Williams? Because I understand that Hype Williams was the best, you know, video producer that you could ever you could get during that time that Jesus Walk was coming out. But why couldn't you let Cootie, somebody who understands the method to your madness, be on that big platform as well?
He ain't had no choice in the end. In the end, he saw it and was like, "Yo,
But at the
Hype
end,
doesn't understand
but
me."
then you probably had to pay
Oh
Hype.
yeah.
You
Oh,
know
they
what?
paid Hype.
Let me Google. I'm about to Google how much did it cost to have Hype Williams produce
Direct.
direct. I want to know what Hype Williams was charging director's
Whatever it
fee.
was, they had to pay. It had to be like 30K. 15 to 30K. Easy. And that's not even with the locations and stuff. That's him storyboarding, finding, scouting locations, taking his hourly rate, um, the extras. It costs coin,
So
and then
his
they
net worth
scrapped
is
it.
currently $14 million.
It cost coin, and they had to scrap it.
$250,000
Hmm.
is what it. Yeah.
I'm sure he
Hype,
didn't pay
hype,
Cootie much.
hype. Hold on. I got it right here. Hype Williams' estimated salary for every project as of 2017, $500,000.
That's 20. I think he was more at 250 for Jesus Walks, and they had to pay it.
Okay, hold oh, but wait, I'm not done yet.
Mm-mm.
Production cost of Hype Williams' music video for What's It Gonna Be by Busta Rhymes, $2.4 million, and that was in
That
1999.
was a that was a dope ass video though.
All right. Uh, I ain't done just yet. Box office sales for Belly in 1998, $9.6 million, which we all know that Hype Williams was an executive producer on that movie. So
That on
that
Hype Williams, like, oh, I'm not even getting out my bed unless you giving me XYZ.
so you had to come off. So Jesus Walks was what, 2002.
Mm.
So in 1999, you we got to come up of off $500,000 for you to step on set.
And
Now, what's it going to be?
they scrapped
That's
the footage.
probably one of next to Mo Money, Mo Problems. That is probably one of the best videos that Hype Williams could give us. Um, because he also did Mo Money, Mo Problems with Mace, Biggie, and Bad Boy. So 500, pretty much in 97, $500,000 is how much you had to pay Hype Williams to do their video. So, and that was in 2017. That's an estimated 2017 effect. As of 2017, it was about $500,000 for you to do, for in order for Hype Williams to step on your set of your video and direct it. $500,000. So in 2002, I'm assuming maybe he charged 250.
I'm gonna give you this. When it was all said and done, Kanye had to bring his ass right back to Chicago and shoot the same damn video. And I'm sure, and you know, he had to pay Hype his fee.
Yeah, but he done blew up with his Grammy money and he didn't spend it all on Hype Williams.
Yep. I got a problem with spending before I get it.
But you know what? Oh, you know what? And I just said it. You know, more money, more problems. Because you won a Grammy, I'm pretty. You know, there of course every time you win a Grammy, there's money that comes along with it, which is perfectly fine. And you got some money, you go win a Grammy, and then you had to turn around and use that Grammy money to do Jesus Walks, which is
But
what
let's
you
talk
want to
about
do.
before the you win the Grammy and when Cootie come down to the when Cootie come down to the after party, you can't even say his name.
And you
And
but
you acting weird.
so my whole thing is this. That is he can't even the lack of humbleness is what I I couldn't get behind, because how are you going to act like you don't know the man that recorded you for the last, at that point in time, 8 years? You here, please. Here. I know you just want me for your treats. So how could you do that? Like, how you acting like you acted like you ain't never met this man a day in your life. And he has been recording you for free. For free. I'm pretty sure that listen, I always told my mom, if the cost of living in New York wasn't so expensive, I would live there. So I, and we don't also know the behind the scenes agreement that they had. Hey, you move to New York, I'm gonna pay for you to live here, yada yada, whatever. However, this man recorded you for free. From what we can see, he recorded you for free for 20 plus years. We have 20 plus years of footage from this man on his little VCR camcorder that he got from Circuit City. And you couldn't he walked into the after party and you act like you that is how you burn a bridge, because the quickest way to burn a bridge is to forget somebody that you know.
And Cootie don't say anything. And I
Because
wonder why ain't Chike in front of the camera like Cootie in front of the camera?
No, listen, I would have that whole after party. We would listen. This after party,
Tussle.
we this after party is over. Okay, cancel. Benito is done, because you're not about to sit here and be disrespectful and act like you don't know me, nigga. I recorded you for the last 20 years, and you wasn't even paying me. You wasn't even paying me. Now you done got you a little Grammy. You want to be up here acting in front of the white people. I'm about to show your ass better than I can tell you. Hey, DJ, cut this music off. Turn all this shit off, because all this shit wouldn't be here unless it was for me.
Because I seriously believe a part of Dame signing him was like, oh snap, he got a documentary.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would cut. What? Delete all this shit. Delete all this shit. I ain't playing with you. Hey, stop drinking that champagne, because that's my champagne. Turn them motherfucking lights on. Turn them lights off. I would have been in there acting like I run it. Listen, you don't run nothing in here. Why? Because you wouldn't be nothing without me. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you, I recorded you for 20 years. I'm the one who made sure that you did this, did that, did that. Now, I'm not taking away from your music geniusness at all. However, I made sure that you did X, Y, and Z. I recorded you for the last 20 years, or how many ever years leading up to this Grammy after party. And you about to sit here and act like you don't know me? Delete all that shit.
And
Listen,
this is when Cootie realizes he was, instead of being the man with the lens, he says it hurt to realize I was now on the outside looking in. And then
yeah.
that's where we get he has a daughter, she could dance, she a baby, she was premature, all the stuff that ain't got nothing to do with Kanye genius per se. We get all of that
And then Cootie is no longer recording Kanye.
because he can't record Kanye. However, he's still able to record Miss Donda because Miss Donda understood when her son had someone who believed in him, because as much as she believed in him.
But my thing is this: Donda should have said, "Listen, you got
You don't
somebody
think
on
she
your."
did?
No, I don't think that she did, because
I think she might have said it, but she didn't enforce anything.
I and okay, so I'll agree with that. But I don't think that she hold on, let me get Blaze history. I don't think that she said, as you said, enforcingly. I feel
What
like,
she did, we're gonna see this later in
yeah,
the
in
discussion,
the
but
in the
she did what everyone did when they went to Cody.
Mhm.
Instead of confronting him and causing his meltdown, she went around him and she was hiring Cootie to do things. She hired Cootie for the foundation. Hell, I think maybe even Common was have. I think the people around who understood what Cootie meant to the Kanye legacy, and the people who understood that Cootie was a big part of, the rise of Kanye. Like, because then you have other rappers saying, "Yo, document me," and then you have Common saying, "Document my festival." And Common's from Chicago, and he's like, "Yo, we got to give back." So this kind of goes back to where we said we would have been tussling. In a way, doesn't that prove the producer dude right? Like, Kanye will forget your ass.
Yes, but I don't.
I
If
still would
she
kicked his ass.
I, I still would have kicked his ass, but I feel like she should have enforced it because he listened to everything that his mother said. And for her to just secretly hire Cootie for certain things, and now, don't see, listen, don't disrespect me in public and then hire me in private. You need to apologize to me as loud as the disrespect was. And so when I would have said, with all due respect, Miss Donda, your son needs to come and ask me because I recorded your son, not you. Your son
But
is
now you have a man, right, who has a family now, right? And Miss Donda going to give him some checks. He's getting the checks how he can get the checks.
no. Listen.
Where are you from?
Wichita, Kansas. At this point in time, it ain't about. It's
No,
about the
no, because you
principle.
said you were familiar with Cootie from
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because he's from the Midwest. I mean,
Okay, so out of
I'm from the Midwest
curiosity,
too.
when Kanye leaves him in the dust, does he go back to Channel Zero? What does he do?
Well, at that point in time, Channel Zero is pretty much dispersed.
Done. Hmm.
We've moved on from Channel Zero to BET as a Black community.
Okay.
We have BET now. So he could have easily took the BET route and got picked up by BET because he's that talented. I believe that if he tried, he would have been able to get picked up by BET. However, I think that, and I feel like
I feel he was hurt.
his
And
emotion
on top
was
of
a
being
part of
hurt,
it.
then there's ego. Like, you don't want to go begging, because what would have had to happen is Donda, he couldn't get to Kanye to get the Kanye cosign.
So
Doors would have
listen,
opened right open. You did Jesus walks.
your son is going to listen. I don't care how much money you are going to give me, or your son will, how much money your son is going to give me by way of you. Your son needs to come and first and foremost apologize to me how he treated me at the after party, when after the Grammy after party or whatever, and then he needs to ask me, can you do X, Y, and Z? And then at that point in time, I'm still say no because he can easily get up because he's getting other offers from other rappers, other artists. I can easily uproot, go record Common, who has more Grammys than one that the one Grammy that you have won. Common has more than one Grammy. I can go
No,
and
he
do this
does.
person.
So we in episode 3, and he's doing Cootie all kind of dirty. But in conjunction, Cootie dad died. Cootie got a child. He doing him all kind of dirty. Rhyme Fest has Cootie come down to the studio to record him. Kanye's in the studio, and he gonna look at Cootie and be like, "You take the camera off of me? Fuck you talking to, dog?"
So my that's that. I At that point in time, listen, I had a friend. Well, I was her friend. She wasn't mine. And I was like, I was a friend. I did everything that I possibly could. The first time that she did me dirty, drug me through the mud, whatever the case is, that was it. I cut her off. I ain't talked to her in 4 or 5 years. That's it. There ain't no coming back from that. So that's what Cootie should have did.
Yeah, but he's the golden goose. Cause he didn't know it at the time, but years later he would be the $30 million check.
Yeah, but
He could have released that footage without him, though.
but the video footage that he has of Kanye West, he could have sold it to the highest bidder later on down the line and returned the dirty favor that
Guess
Kanye
what?
West
He
did to him.
because this is edited. I know
Oh,
that
it is edited.
it's
So I would
edited
have.
to God. There's only one scene that kind of gives us an idea. There's two scenes that gives us an idea how
I
gone
would have. I would have
Kanye is.
held that information. I would have held it, and I would have sold it to the highest bidder. He
I'm
just
sure there
happens.
were a lot of meltdowns. Did you saw when he was just throwing all the Gap jeans all around the place?
Yep, I seen that too. So Cootie has. At that point in time, I would have said, I am the leader in this situation because I have information of what people can actually see of you. I recorded you for 20 plus years on how you acted, what you did every day. I recorded you basically 20 plus 20 hours a day. I allowed you slept for 4. So I recorded you for 20 plus hours. I have all your meltdowns, your this, your that, everything for 20
But
years.
that's that's
So guess
revenge, but it's
what?
not
You
integrity.
you, you fucked me over.
It's
And listen, God's still working on me, but you don't what did they say? You don't get right, you get even. I recorded you for 20 plus years. You fucked me over with you wanted to choose Hype Williams over me. Then you fucked me over at the after party. You acted like I didn't know who I was. Then you fucked me over when you was in the studio and you was like, "Can you take the camera off of me?" As
not
if I
only
wasn't
that,
recording you.
acting weird like he wasn't there, acting like he
As
wasn't in the
if
studio.
you didn't record me for the past 20 years. So you know what? What I would have did is I would have went to 50 Cent. See, this is how petty I am. I would have went to 50 Cent. Hey, I got this nigga crying on camera. Can we release this in a 15-part series of this nigga crying and having a temper tantrum because ain't nobody signed him and he ain't got no money to do X, Y, and Z. I got all of that on these 20 years of footage. Can we put it on Stars? Because ain't that who you work with? Let's run this on Stars.
You want to know? So, because I'm looking at episode 3, just kind of glancing at it.
Hmm.
He didn't realize how bad Donda dies. He had no idea how bad these mental things were because I believe Donda used to keep
Them intact. I feel like
probably was
I feel
hiding his
I,
medication in his smoothie or whatever.
I feel like she knew and then she didn't say anything. However, like,
As black folks, we tend to do that. Or
God
it was more common back in the day to kind of act like
God
nothing was
God rest
wrong.
her God rest her soul, but she was an enabler. She
Correct.
and I don't I can appreciate the affirmation that she gave to her son. Hey, you are going to be great in life. I know you. I support you. You're
But
going
it
to
has
be
to have
great.
accountability attached to
But
it.
you need to hold yourself accountability because my mama would have rang me up she would have grabbed me by my throat. Listen,
Today,
today, and I'm grown, paying all bills by myself. She would have grabbed me up by my throat. Hey, this person been rocking with you since you remember when you ain't have no money? This person been with you since you ain't have no money.
you sound like your mother.
You don't
You
treat
sound like your
people like
mother right
that.
now.
You don't treat people that have been with you since you ain't when you ain't have no money. When my mama always said, you find out who your friends are when you ain't doing your best. Cootie was with you when you ain't have no money. You got into a car accident. This nigga flew across the country from New York to LA the next day. I know how much it costs now to fly from DCA to LAX nonstop. Now I can it may be a little bit cheaper, but he had to fly from LaGuardia, Newark, or JFK to get to LAX in order to support you while your mouth is wired shut and still record you. That is a friend, and you don't lose friends like that. So my listen, if that was my mama, she'd have rang hear me by my damn neck. Listen, you don't do that to people that care. This person care about you. They done spent their money. They done flew out. They done recorded you. They have supported you
They
when
brought the
you did
McDonald's when you couldn't afford it.
shoot. Okay, when you ain't have no money, they was
When you
there.
was in liquid.
When you was in liquid. Wait, that's the one right there. When you was in liquid, they supported you. Cootie supported you. He uprooted his whole entire life to move to New York simply to record you. And we don't know if there was any fees or talked about at that point in time when he moved to New York, but it looks like he recorded you for free because you ain't have no money either. You was blowing that money left and right.
So,
So
Cootie's not there for when he meets and marries Kim Kardashian. He's not there for when he has his first child. He's not there for Cootie when he has his child. He ain't there. He ain't there. He ain't there. Donda dies.
that would be my listen. It Kanye, that would be my best man. That's my listen. This is your God. This is your Godfather. Your Godfather. I would the humbleism in me. Listen, that he was with me when I ain't have nothing. I ain't have no money. He recorded me. I didn't even have no money. I didn't have no money. Nothing. He recorded me. Look, I ain't even got no food. Episode 1. I ain't even have no food in my house. I have no food in my house. He is recording me. This man,
He believed in me
he
as much as
believed
I believed in myself.
that is that, and that is how I feel about that. You did him wrong. You did Cootie wrong because he believed in you as much as you believed in yourself, and he didn't. It seemed as in the episode 1 that Cootie wasn't expecting any monetary anything.
No, he just wanted to. He was trying to
He,
chase the idea of hoop dreams.
he just wanted you to be successful. You can you n- a, a friend like that comes a dime 2 dozen because
Cootie's like 7 years older than him, though.
you're not gonna get no friend that's gonna record you for 20 plus years, not ask for no financial compensation if he didn't, and then still support you. you're not going to get you're not going to get any friends like that. So why would you burn, and you put a fucking gasoline trail on that and lit that bitch up and watch that bridge burn
But
because
then Donda dies, and Cootie's like, "Holy smoke!
but
I
he
know
knew
he ain't doing well now,
but he knew the
but he got to figure out how to even get in contact with him."
effect of Donda dying. He knew the effect that it would have on Kanye. And he's even after you did him dirty, he still is being your friend.
Because he's Christian. I think it's twofold. One, he's a Christian, right? But two, he got this footage and he need to figure out what to do with it. He understand what we know about Cootie is Cootie know when Cootie know what the golden goose looked like.
But I think that he was a friend first.
Friend
He
for
was a
sure,
friend
for sure.
first. Okay. We're not gonna say he's
Yeah, I'm
Donald
not gonna
Trump.
do him dirty. He definitely was a
He's
friend,
not
but
out
it's
here
like
Donald
he's a
Trumping people.
Christian and he has all this footage, and we got one. I need footage to end. We have where it started. I don't have where it is now, and you doing a lot of weird shit. And then there's the fear, like, because let's get to the Dominican Republic. Kanye's doing all of this. He's trying to break into fashion. They're
Which
telling
he did.
he's
See him. I wish that we can, because we know that Jesus it's a household name. You know, I'm gonna go and get me a pair of Yeezys. That's perfectly fine. So it's a household name. I wish that we were able to see the steps leading up to
we
him.
couldn't because he went into he we couldn't and
Though,
he was getting
but
it was the same thing. It was a repeat process. I feel like Kanye thrives when the cards are stacked against him.
but when the cards were stacked against him, Cootie was there to record.
Right. So now he's trying to get into the fashion industry. They're telling him go sit the fuck down. Um He's having all of these mental breaks. Cootie gets to him. Let's get into this Dominican Republic footage because it's heartbreaking.
It is. It.
Cootie rushes to him because Cootie's like, "What the fuck?" Dame
I.
Dash rushes to him
I
because
actually. I don't have any problem with saying that because I cry over a lot smaller things than this. I actually shed a tear when I watched. I'm like, damn, Dame Dash then hopped on a flight to.
well, you see, in the moment, people thought that Dame Dash was going to like if you don't see the footage,
You
it
won't
looks
know
like Dame Dash was going to see how he could get money. It looks like Justin Bieber was going. Yo, they were literally there
to
because
check on their
there's that whole
friends.
2020. He's running for president, and that really odd speech about abortion. And I asked Kim to abort. Nor what the fuck are you
They
doing?
so my thing is this: Justin Bieber, Dame Dash, Cootie, they
Cootie.
went to check on their friend.
And you can see the awkwardness, and this is what I have experience with when you go
But he had a
now.
he was going through a mental crisis at that point.
Right, but he acting like, oh, it's all good, and you have to make sure that he thinks that you believe that it's all good, because if he
Enabling,
thinks that you think that something's wrong, he's gonna shut down, and you're not gonna have access, and you don't know if he's gonna do something to himself.
enabling. So where
You have to. It's like you have to enable him in order to make sure you have eyes on
but
him.
this goes back to
What
Donda.
his mother was doing.
Donda enabled him. And so because she enabled him all of these years, he needs enablers around him. I feel the same way about Chris Brown and Trey Songz. You have enablers around you, think that it's okay. You continuously hear yes, 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 and then you hear no, and now it's a problem.
What
So
about this though? It broke my heart when Justin Bieber walked over to him and was like, "Let me know if I'm crowding you," and he's like, "Nah, nah, we good." Like that. Let me know if I'm crowding you. It's scary because it's like,
you with those type of people
yo, Cootie started crying.
listen, I had to shed a tear. I have no problem with saying that I cried. I wasn't crying on TV or anything like that. I cried because I'm like, this man, listen, I always say, I talk to my mom 3, 4 times a day. And the day that God says it's time for her to be with my granny, I said, listen, I'm gonna need to sit down for a little bit of time. Y'all gonna have to put me in a psych ward so that I can get this together, but he didn't do that. He was just like, I just need to go to the studio. I need to do this. I need to do that. So he didn't deal, I don't feel like he dealt with his mother's death the way that
He didn't deal with his mother's death. He hadn't been dealing with his mental health. Um, you can't stay married to that. You can't stay
so
married to that.
you can't. And I completely agree. So he didn't do, you know, us normal people, we'll go to therapy, we'll talk to somebody, we'll vent, the listen, the girls will come over, we'll have a couple bottles of tequila, we'll talk about it, we'll cry about it. Boom. We're gonna brush it up under the rug. We're gonna go to brunch on Sunday. I did a therapeutic relief on something like that. However, the first thing that he says, oh, I need to go to the studio. You can't go to the studio with the mind block that you have. Your mother just passed away. You need to internally
Not
deal.
just the studio tour.
Yeah. On top of that, let me go. While I need to go to the studio, let me throw in the tour. Why don't I? So you and I understand. When things get tough at home, people throw themselves into work, and that's perfectly fine. However, you're not dealing with these situations because when you go back home, those problems are still going to be there. Every time that you go back home to Chicago, especially when you go to the house, because your mom didn't want you to buy her a bigger house. She wanted to stay in the house that she raised you in. So you still own that house. Every time you go home, you to Chicago, you have this home that
What's he doing to the house though? He keep
adding
burning
on,
the damn house up.
burn that damn house down to the ground because you're still angry inside. Listen, when my great grandmother died, I was so mad at God. Why are you taking my granny away from me?
My
Why?
mother's the anniversary, the 13-year anniversary of my mother being gone is on
Why?
the 17th
You know,
of March.
every and we
I
are
was so
human.
mad at God.
Yeah, so mad. Why? So that's why. Why are you taking the most important person in my life away from me? Why does this person have to die right now?
So like
Why? And those
so
and
then like,
all of
the
those things
funny
have to be
thing,
right.
or not funny, or the messed up thing is like my aunt, we found out she was gone 2 weeks ago. She was 65. My mother was only 2 years older than her. And my mother's been gone for 13 years. What the fuck?
So I
If
understand
you don't deal with that,
it's gonna eat you up inside. And I know that it's eating him up even more.
still,
Because still
because he keeps naming albums after her.
Donda 2, which actually is a pretty decent album, but he paid for her to, get her, whatever she got done.
He tried to advise her against it,
And
but she was like, "We already paid."
yes, and then she died from post-surgery complications. So not only did, she pass away, but she passed away from post-surgery
Another
complications.
layer of that, though, is because of who he was. She didn't get the right aftercare because that would have led to gossip. So they
So
cut corners on the aftercare.
so she passed away from post-operation, surgery, whatever. But, it's not like, I'll never forget, when my mom had a heart attack, I couldn't get to DCA fast enough to get to Atlanta fast enough. And I didn't even care. Listen, I don't care if you need to take a shortcut or a reroute or whatever. Listen, you say we gonna get to Atlanta in an hour. I'm gonna need you to get there in 45 minutes because I need to get to where my mama is at. Not to make matters worse, he, paid for the operation, and that is his mom. So it's a difference, if when your mom passed, it wasn't your fault. With his mom passed away, he's in a public eye. He then paid for his mom to have this operation of her choice, and then he has to deal with the fact that his mother died, in a public eye, and it wasn't, a natural cause. It wasn't a heart attack or a stroke, or she just simply passed
It
away in
was
her sleep.
vanity.
It
Vanity killed his mother.
Vanity killed his mother,
And then we would find out years later that he also went under the knife
and
for
then
the
then
same thing.
and then we find out that the surgeon, he wasn't the best surgeon, and then we all of these extra details. So you not only cut corners at the beginning of the surgery, you cut corners at the end of the surgery.
And there was
And
no
now
need to cut quarters.
there
You
was
had
no
enough
there was
money to
no
go
need
to
to
the
cut.
best in the business.
No need to cut. Listen, you could have called Chris Jenner and been like, hey, all your kids got fake bodies. Who did they surgery? Let me send my mama out there to do it. You decided to cut corners, and that is eating him up inside because
And
he
he is destroying
because I feel like
everything that he builds up things, and he's destroying them, destroying them.
I feel like he feels like he is responsible.
He's a boy because men don't break down what they build.
No, but I feel like he is responsible for.
You muted yourself.
I did. I'm back. I feel like he feels that he is responsible for the death of his mother, and that is what is eating him alive. But
But you gotta face that. And
you,
we like sat like watching that last episode was
it was
so
cringy. It was so cringy.
You know what was really scary to me? The business meeting with the real estate executives. My homegirl is a therapist. Now, my aunt had her mental challenges, and when she described her brain, she would say, "My brain is too big for my head." And my
Yep.
friend who's a therapist, and this is what she deals in, she was like, "Have you ever noticed that that's how people with mental challenges describe their brain?" And I was like, I couldn't
See,
I couldn't notice that because I only know one person, but this is your business. Are you telling me that this is common? And she was like, "Yeah. They say my brain feels." Now, a smart person doesn't say my brain feels too big for my head. They say my brain holds a lot of information.
yes, but
Said my brain is
that's
too big
something
for my head.
that's CTE. That's what I feel with Kanye.
He might have hurt himself in that car crash and didn't address that component.
Yeah, that could be because the erratic the erratic things that he is doing, with Kim Kardashian and going this place and that place, it gives me very much
Retired
Aaron Hern-
football player.
Aaron Hernandez. And, he did the erratic, he killed that young man, those erratic decisions, with CTE. That's the number one, that is one of the number one diagnosis, that it's erratic decisions. They make decisions without thinking about them, i.e. Aaron Hernandez killing that boy in the middle of the field and then getting caught doing it. So um, that
The one thing I was thinking is I hope he doesn't sign any paperwork with the because while there's a part of what Cootie's watching it and he has to put the camera down because it was bad. Because he's having a break right there in the moment.
and
Them
listen,
executives, and I'm not saying what it really was, but what it really was is them white people ain't look away at all. And I
no,
know why they didn't look away at all. Because in their head, they're like, we gotta get him to sign whatever we gotta get him to sign tonight before he becomes
go somewhere.
lucid.
Yeah.
Before he becomes lucid and he realized that whatever we talking about,
So
he's in
so
this position where he's a billionaire and people are going to take advantage of him.
so my thing is this: with that instance, and I really hate to say this, he probably signed a Diddy contract, and you know how Diddy contracts go. So
Yes, Kamisha, yes, Kanye, they're saying he's not stalking her and it's a disrespect to it's disrespectful to people who actually deal with domestic violence to call
yes,
what he's
very.
doing.
I don't know if my
um
mama is in this live. We were celebrating my uncle's birthday before this live, so she probably not. But yeah, my
they're
mom is
saying that it's domestic, it's disrespectful. But what I watched the Easy video, and
Mhm.
I did I posted something about it. The Everyone was talking about the Pete Davidson thing. That shit. Okay, yeah, it's Gumby doing decapitating Gumby claymation. The fact that he planted those roses, cut those roses, put those roses in a truck bed, and then you see the truck bed drive off, and then on February 14th he sent her a truck bed of roses with the dirt still on the roses. That's a grave to me. He's subtly sending her a grave.
Ooh, I don't. So one of my friends, God rest her soul, was in a domestic violence. Now she did all the steps that we are supposed to take as domestic violence victims. She went to the police. She filed report. She filed restraining order, and he still killed her. He still killed my friend,
And then you get, "I don't
and
even know you and I hate you."
it and I don't wish anything like that on anybody.
When
Even
we talk about dating and Kamisha, you here. the Ready to Love, where I keep saying Eric was rushing a little bit too quick to say, "Oh, we gonna be in a relationship." That scares the hell out of me. It always
I don't.
happens, and I never like it because to me, they say a woman scorned will kill your car. A man scorned will take your life. I do not play with
Absolutely,
men. I
absolutely.
try not to
But
play with men.
I
I
don't
try to
think
have them
that
leave me.
with I don't want to compare Kanye to Eric because I felt like, Eric saying we're going to be in a relationship, it this is a condensed process. So I would like to be in a relationship with you. Let's work towards it. With Kanye sending her roses with dirt still on it, yes, I can agree that is like a grave. However, I don't feel like Kanye would kill her per se. I shouldn't say that on YouTube, but do that per se because at the end of the day, she still gave him what they on kid number 3,
Okay, so this is what I think is for children.
4.
This is what I'll tell you.
Sorry,
Again, my
I don't take
aunt,
my shots online. Go
my
ahead.
aunt was a paranoid schizophrenic. She loved her daughter. The thing you love becomes the thing you try to get rid of. Be it the voices in your head telling you they've done something to you, uh, or that it's better for you to get rid of them and maybe even get rid of yourself. It's some scary shit. So when people are like, she should tell him where the child's birthday is. I get why she didn't.
Okay, so yes, I'm gonna play devil's advocate on this situation. So
Hmm.
I can understand why she didn't. But at the same time, their separation wasn't that long ago. It may have been a month or so post their separation. And then you have Pete at the birthday party. So now it looks like there's an overlap for one.
He's accustomed to overlap. He entered her life in overlap. She
That's
was
fine.
still married in her 72-day marriage when Kanye got on the scene.
Hey,
So there's
listen,
that. But bigger than that, we
but
have to remember he became a devout Christian doing gospel albums and moved to where did he move to? Wyoming?
yeah, yeah, that's where his album. Yeah, yes, because that's where he did niggas in Paris.
Okay, so let's try this on for size. Your husband gets up and he moves. He tells you you have to come, but your bread and butter, you're not like him. You can't make money just because of the way your mind works. You make money on the way you look and on being seen, and that happens in LA. And you don't want people to say that you're with him for the money. You want to make your own money. And all of that, I dressed you and that you wanted to dress me. You was my man. And like, okay, you spent money on me. You was my man. You was my husband. So the fuck what? But I'm not moving to Wyoming. And he's like, well, I'm in the creative process. So I'm not coming home every night. I'm not coming home every week. I'm not coming home every month. You know what you leave room for? Pete Davidson.
But I hate to say this. Okay, so real quick, when's the last time that we heard of Pete Davis doing anything? Just off the top of your mind.
He does Saturday Night Live every Saturday. And he's known for having one of the biggest penises in the industry. He's not bagging baddies because he's hot.
No, he bagging baddies because of the penis.
They
And
heard about him.
whew,
Like,
because I let you walk into that one because listen, Pete, if y'all and Kim don't work out, call me. I don't want none of your money. But
you know who else was supposed to? I think it's Milton Berle. Like,
shut up.
he was supposed to be the man for his time period. That was who all the way was like,
Now
yo, you
he's
need to
slanging
get some of that.
slang.
Yeah,
Now he's
yeah,
woo.
yeah.
Now
And you
he's
know
slanging.
what? he may not be the funniest person to me, right? But he a comedian. You know what? You know what get women up out of they clothing? A funny dude.
Oh,
Don't make
come
it
on now.
funny and the eggplant. What?
Oh my goodness. So okay,
And
well
Kim
he
has,
well,
I think Kim be liking to save dudes because he got, his dad died in nine
so she want
eleven.
to be Captain Save a Hoe because that's what she is.
His dad died in 9/11, and he grew up as like the picture of what
Oh,
ring the
like the diaper
bell.
baby on Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball. Got it.
You know what I'm saying? So
But
he
my
has
whole
his
thing,
mental issue. He struggles with depression. She
but my
has a
whole
pattern of liking this bullshit.
well, my whole thing is, listen, if you want to, well, if you want to be Captain Save a Hoe, then just say that. But don't. Well, listen, you
Let
can
me tell you, don't
you
not
can
come
destroy Pete
home.
Davis because he ain't black. But
Don't
you
not come home for days, weeks, months at a clip and think that talk about you saw his little poem called Death. I didn't know I was dead. I didn't know our relationship was dead. What you thought was happening, beloved? You haven't been home. You decided to go live in the friggin' Mercedes Benz Stadium instead of bringing your ass home.
not the Mercedes Benz Stadium. So about that. So what? So how? If he really cared about being in a marriage with her, listen, I'm not in the studio this day, and this day. But and tell me if I'm wrong because you were a lot more a part of the music life than I was. When people like him go into their zone, they could not come out for 2, 3 months or
Yes, I liken that to Missy Elliott. If Missy's working on something, you ain't gonna see Missy for a while.
so. I
Uber
can
might see Missy, but you ain't getting her to come out. This is the
you
thing.
t-
You want
t-
to tell me
t-
about your kids, your kids, your kids? When's the last time you
So
had these
no,
kids for a clip?
I am not going to act like he did not FaceTime his kids when he was
Hell,
in
well, for
money.
FaceTime. North is out here embarrassing me every time I turn this damn camera on. Would you
I'm not gonna do that.
bring your ass home so you could take North to wherever y'all used to go? Because she let her embarrass you on your camera.
But she ain't gonna embarrass her daddy on camera because listen, there is nothing more important or better than you spending time with your dad or your dad's love because I am a grown ass woman and I enjoy every time that I go home to visit my
My
dad.
son gets sick of me because when my dad come home, well, no, my dad doesn't live here, but when he come through the door, I'm like, "Daddy's here, Daddy's
Yep,
here."
I'm
And my
grown.
son be like,
I'm grown as shit, and I still call my daddy daddy. Okay, I don't even care. I got off the phone with him the other day. Hey, we doing our family trip to New York. Yeah, okay. Just let me know the date so that I can make sure that I have time. I love spending time with my dad. I don't care how old I am, and I don't care how old he is. That is my dad, and
so
there's
imagine if
nothing.
your dad decided to live in Wyoming.
However, so that's what I was getting to when and even though and I unfortunately, North at that time was very young and she didn't understand what was going on. But when you have somebody like Kanye as your dad, you have to understand that at this point in time, he's making money so that I can have uh all the design what he say on Love and Basketball, keep your ass
Gucci,
fine.
keep your ass at Gucci and gold.
There it is. You knew what I was just saying. So,
That's
she didn't,
within reason. That's
she
within
doesn't
reason.
she at that point in time, she doesn't understand.
She don't understand
So,
that kids don't give a damn about the Gucci nor the gold.
however, the parents do. Her mama definitely do. So you want to be able to go to Louis and drop $25,000. I need to do this here and where a place that I am.
You know what, Kanye? Louis just wrote me. They're willing to give me whatever outfit for free. Can you come home, please? And
But
on top of that, he told me he didn't know his relationship was dead. After he dressed her up, because there was a clip, because I don't watch the Kardashians anymore, because I
I
was
don't watch
through
them.
after
I've
them
never watched
72
them.
days, you heard? But
I've never watched. I can't even tell you. I can tell you that I've never watched a full episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
So
And
when
let
he
him
got with her, he was like, throw all that shit out. Everything you wear, throw it out. It ain't good enough. And he dressed her. So now that he's doing the gospel albums, it's like, I really need you to cover up. The fuck? No, 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 I'm not gonna
so
cover up. I
I
don't dress like that.
I I if we compare Kanye to Jay-Z, because Jay-Z was still producing, touring, and making hits when Blue was
And guess who
born.
was in the studio? And he was putting her Blue been getting been recording.
Well,
Blue been recording.
she wasn't recording when she was born,
She wasn't
but
recording when she was born, but you know when she was recording? As soon as she could and go on the mic, he was like, "What?" He act like everything she did was gold. Oh snap! Y'all heard what Blue said? She said she ain't got no ceiling. It's a hit, y'all.
yes. However, Kanye and Jay are two different people because of the hurt that has been caused to Kanye. Jay-Z, boys agreed before, boys agreed before the badge is different from my mom died, or I didn't grow up with anything. Jay was a hustler. Uh, Dang, that's Cassidy. But I was about to start saying how I'm a hustler. Jay, was a hustler. Keep a stash in the Nike box up in the closet is what Jay said. Kanye is
A
my
mama's
mom
boy
was
who lost his mama.
Yes, I'm an English mom. His mom was an English teacher. His dad is a relationship counselor,
And
wherein
a Baptist preacher.
a Baptist preacher and relationship counselor and whatever else. So he grew up in the church, and he for the most part had a two-parent household where Jay didn't really have that. The streets raised him. And so, while we got in the Nike box at the top of the closet and boys agreed before the badge, American Gangster. But those things like that, they come from two different lifestyles. So Jay-Z worked to make sure that his kids didn't have to see or grow up the way that he grew up, where Kanye was like, I'm just trying to make a better life. And then when he got that better life, it just went into shambles
You know what
because
I think one of the problems Kanye's experiencing in life? It's never going to be good enough because his why is not good enough. I don't think he's really sat down and determined why he needs this. He just, I need this
knows that
thing.
he need,
And when he gets
and
that thing,
he
because the
is
why ain't right, it's not satisfying. So he needs the next big thing.
in yes, and in addition to that, his oh the void that he's trying to fill,
Can't
uh
feel it.
he can't feel it because he is not trying to fill the void for himself. He's trying to fill the void for other people. And that is just not going to work. So he wants the acceptance of other people. I belong here. I've done this. I belong here. However, somebody like Jay-Z, he's like, I know I belong here. I am here. I am going to
It's
give
the
you
difference between Kanye saying, I belong here, right? And Jay
right.
Z saying, I
I
belong
know
here.
I belong here. So Jay-Z said the goal, he said this in an interview, the goal is not to be rich and famous. The goal is to give, to use the gift that God gave you to make other people happy. That is why I do what I do. I make other people happy with the gift that God gave me.
You want to know another thing I think Kanye's suffering from? If we're going to put, look at Kanye verse, or not verse, but Kanye and Jay. Jay-Z's gotten to a point where he could sit with himself, reflect on where he fucked up, and try and fix it. Kanye, it seems like Kanye's scared to be still.
And there, but
What's going to happen if I'm still? What's going to happen when I slow down? Because when he slow down,
he needs to. He needs to. You need to be still. What is it
Be
saying in the
still and
Bible?
let God.
Peace, be still.
Mm-hmm.
So if when you have peace, listen, I have my friend and I love her so much, but she wants to be out every single night. And I said, you don't, and what we were out at dinner last week, and I said, you don't have peace at home. You don't have peace at home because there's been several nights where I'm like, you know what, I'm going home. I come out for a drink or two during the week, but I'm going home. I can't be out in the city every night, all night. You don't have peace at home because when you have peace at home, what you want to do?
You want to
Be
go
at
home
home
and lay down.
and lay down. Listen, I want to be at home with my dog. We're
Don't
gonna
let
be at home. We're gonna
Well,
be at
don't let the
home.
rain start and I'm outside. I'll be like, yo, this is the perfect sleep. Oh, I should be up in my bed.
But listen.
Oh,
This is it. I'ma head out, and my friends will tell you, Alicia will get her check and be out. Hey, Imma catch all Imma say, Imma catch y'all later, and that is it. That I'm going home. I'm not. I'm
how'd your
done.
friend respond to you telling her she ain't had no peace?
And she was just like, I didn't think about it like that. Now I have very understanding friends, but I was just like, you don't. What are you looking for?
What are you running from?
I didn't even ask that question. What are you looking for you to be out every night? I can't be I couldn't even be out now
I
when I
gotta
was
feed my
working
damn dog. The dog need a walk.
when I was working, when I lived in Atlanta, I was a bottle girl, I was a promoter. So Wednesday through Sunday, yes, I was out every night, but I was still home Monday and Tuesday. Sunday nights, I try to get up out of the club earlier. However, that was my job. I had to serve bottles because people was paying for bottles, and I had to make sure to promote the club so that I can get bottle service in order to continue to make money. So I'm not going out just to be going out.
You're
I was
hustling.
going out to make work, to work. And I'm like, you're not a bottle girl. You want us out every night. I'm okay with Taco Tuesday here, this, that, and the other, but you don't have peace at home because I want to go home. I want to go home. Yep, watch TV, sit on my couch, drink some tea, drink a glass of wine, take a couple shots, lay down. I want to do all of that and at home.
And I want to start that early so that when I wake up tomorrow,
I can
I would like to start that around 7.
okay,
So that
okay.
I
I
am
get
in my bed by 10:30, and when I wake
Listen,
up,
this is one of the reasons why I love brunch because you said
yes.
we going to brunch at 12. Great. That means that we'll be done by 2:30 and I'll be
Let me
home
tell
by
you,
3:30 and then I
Sunday
can
I went to Ricardo's and
Oh, that's one of my favorite places. Come on now.
I went for the brunch and you know, I got home at 5 and then I was waking up. No, this was Saturday. Sunday was a wash because I was like, oh my God, like I have things to do that ain't getting done today. So I gotta
Yeah.
start my shit. And I'm 47, so it ain't the hot back up in the 20s and the no, it ain't hot back up. I needed time.
I need time to listen. It doesn't and she's a lot younger. She's a lot younger than me. So she's in her early 20s. So she can do the bounce back. Listen, us old people,
Look, that slow down start and it'd be like,
we need time to recover. I need a full day. We not going to brunch on Saturday and Sunday. It's either Saturday or no day because I need Sunday to recover. I can't do it.
yeah,
I can't do
cause
it.
I gotta go look at these people at their job. And I
Yeah.
can't be looking horrible. I gotta these people going
Come on now. Come on. Come on. So
listen.
yes. So she wasn't upset with me and I just gave her a different perspective of listen, you need to light some relaxation candles at home. Find you
She
something.
live alone.
No, and she has a roommate. So there's
That's
another
it. She like, I'd rather be with you. Ooh, yeah.
girl. What? So and she's a, and she and I will say that she is learning. to, be a better, I will say a better friend, because she hasn't been around the circle of friends that she has been introduced to. So she doesn't, she doesn't understand us just yet. But I'm just like, listen, we don't go out all the time. We meet up, we have a good time, and then we go home. Like, we are not out every
Yeah,
night,
she'd rather be with you
especially.
than with the roommate.
Yeah, and that's
Roommate
and that's
probably
and that's fine. And that's
she
fine.
probably she probably be like, yo, I hate the way this bitch chew.
Yeah, well,
She been
the crazy thing is her roommate is military and he's never home. Like, never home, because he's in the Air Force. So Air Force, what they doing? Flying all the time. So, but that's neither here nor there.
Kanye need to slow down.
He does. He
The
needs to
third
sit.
episode it ripped me up to watch.
The third, yeah. So when we do the third episode, it's gonna, be a little bit more, somber, I should say. But I feel that he does need to sit down. He needs to reflect. And yes, there will be a part of the reflection of, I paid for my mom to have this fucked up ass surgery. And
But the forgiving himself because he tried to stop her. She
yeah,
wasn't
and then
stopping.
you just listen. God has already, if somebody can screen record this and just send it to his Instagram, God has already forgiven you. Said you said what you need to say. I don't want you to get this surgery, and that person still wanted to get this surgery. It is not your fault that this.
Even him running back into the church with the way he's running back into the church, like you trying to get something up off of you. That's not how it works.
But God has already forgiven you. If somebody were screen record this, God has already forgiven you, Kanye, for trying to stop your mom from having the surgery. And she, as an adult, decided to still have the surgery. It is
As
not,
your adult, like you couldn't tell her what to do
yes,
because she was your
no,
adult.
it is not your fault that the surgery didn't go as planned. It's not your fault. And the post surgery portion is not your fault either, because what they probably thought, as a person who was performing the surgery, is Kanye West has doctors on hand, and he will be able to call somebody to take care of his mother. So we don't need to give her proper post care. It none of your mom passing away, it is not your fault. You did the steps that you needed to do in order to make sure that your mom didn't go through this surgery, and she still wanted to go through this surgery. It is not your fault. So do not blame yourself for this. It's not his
How can
fault.
he could help it? Can't help it, but he could.
And this is coming from somebody who had followed you through when your mouth was wired shut. Before this.
It wasn't wired shut. It was just
Oh,
wired.
okay. Listen,
It's just wired.
wired shut, whatever. I've been following
I
you
told
for
you
a
what
long
I thought.
time.
I thought it was gonna be, and it turned into. I was like, oh,
In the dentist and everything. So Kanye, listen, it's not your fault. Most of your fans still love you. Just stop sending roses with mud on it at the end.
and
That's
the
that's what
poems are
you do.
dope. By the way,
Listen, you are a great. He is a great lyricist, and he is a great producer. We will never be able to deny those facts. But you just a little cuckoo cuckoo right now, and you just need to sit down, get that cuckoo cuckoo out of you, and then you be even greater. If once you work these major small problems out, you will be even greater. You'll be able to forgive us greater music, greater fashion, greater everything that you thought you were going to be. You'll be able to give us that. But you have to work at these big small problems first. And that's it.
that's it. That's what we got for you now.
That's it. You
It's
just have to work
Kanye.
out these big small problems. And once you work these big and small problems out, you will be able to be unstoppable. You'll be
Eventually,
unstoppable
it's
at
it.
that point.
But right now, you stopping yourself, thinking you're unstoppable. You know what? You gotta
Self-sabotage.
realize how small you are in order to actualize your greatness. As
Self
great as he
you
is,
are you are
can you imagine?
self-sabotaging. Yes, you are
Could you imagine?
self-sabotaging yourself right now because you are letting the effect. Listen, people get divorces every day. The divorce rate in America is at a all-time 47%.
It's not just a divorce for him. It's another
I
woman he loves leaving him,
it, listen,
and his mother left him
you will
because
be
he
able.
ain't deal with the anger of losing his mom, and now this bitch trying to leave me too.
So you will be. Listen, there is 1,000,002 women in this world. You will be able to find another
As a
woman
man
that
that look like your wife.
look like your wife and that actually loves you, not just for your money.
How do you think these women who he's dating feel to watch him date them and then fight for his marriage? But
Well, you know what? One girl said, I'm okay with the breakup because I wasn't actually in love with him. He doesn't need those type of people around him. He needs someone that genuinely cares and loves him about they
you
genuinely
can't
care
tell
about.
me he wasn't paying her to date him because she wrote a blog post. my first my first date, backspace, backspace, backspace. My amazing first date.
My amazing first date. It's the clicking of the keys for me.
Kanye West. I can't.
But that's that he needs. I he doesn't need enablers. That he doesn't need enablers around him anymore.
But
He
then he at
needs
the same he doesn't, but he's in this very fragile state. They need to enable his
no,
ass to the
no,
doctor.
no. They don't. You can't enable somebody. Listen, my mama always say you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. So he doesn't. They need somebody. He needs to a shock reality check. Listen, nigga, what you doing ain't working. You
I'm
can't
sure that
continue.
he's been told.
You
I
can't.
as
You
we saw Dame there, Dame don't mince no words. I'm sure Dame's
Oh yeah.
all right.
Oh, and that is one of the reasons why I love Dame. I mean, I watched him in the Surviving R. Kelly series, and I'm like, that's why. That's why right here. He
No,
was like,
a
I just
lot
want.
of the
He
reason
was
why
like, he was like
one of the
13. He was like, listen, Dame Dash said anything under 18 is nasty. It's
no,
disgusting.
but this is the thing. Dame's a lot of things. But the thing with him was Jay wasn't supposed to do that album. They was pulling the plug on that, but they had little beef, inside
We
beef.
we talking about
Any of them.
BT2.
Best of both worlds and best. They was never supposed to do no album like that. He
With
had
R.
pulled the
Kelly.
plug on that. But I guess they was in this thing where he's like, you can't tell me who to record with.
So my thing is this. And at that point in time when they did Best of Both Worlds, I believe that Dame Dash was already dating Aaliyah. Um
But not just that, they were all friends, quote
and that
unquote.
and
Not
the, and that,
friends, if not best, because people have this image of Jay and Dame like they were best friends. They weren't best friends. They
they were
were
just
dudes who knew each other, worked together for a long time, had a
co-founders. They were
had
co-founders.
co-founders, and you do build a relationship, but that
But it's a
relationship,
business
that's not
relationship.
tie. You know what I'm saying? That's not
So
bleak.
my thing is this. There is and I'm not saying I'm not giving any speculation on this, and maybe we can do a part two with the Dame Dash surviving Dame Dash R Kelly Dame Dash Jay Z R Kelly Aaliyah all of that. There is a picture with Dame Dash. Aaliyah has a picture with Dame Dash. She was well underage. There's a picture with her and Jay Z. There's a picture with her and LL, and then there is many of pictures with her and R Kelly as we have seen over the years. When R Kelly went to trial, well, first of all, when the charge, because not when he went to trial, when the charges came out in 99, early 2000, when those charges came out, at that point in time, us as the black culture should have canceled him then, because
I did. When I saw the marriage certificate in the 90s,
oh,
I was done.
Listen, when we seen the doctored marriage certificate, yes. When we
I was
seen
done.
that piece of information at that point in time, we should have canceled him then.
He was
But then,
canceled to me. People who know me know that you couldn't play. I would never touch. I wouldn't play his music. I would throw fits, and then over time, I stopped throwing fits because I was like, it's not for me to tell people what they can and can't listen to.
yes,
I
you know.
just don't do it.
So when that case, when the when and I don't want to say this on the internet, but this is my conspiracy theory. So when Aaliyah did rock the boat, R. Kelly was in on the island. He was there because he said he was there. He was there when Aaliyah did rock the boat. 2 weeks post Aaliyah doing Rock the Boat, finishing up Rock the Boat. We all knew that Aaliyah didn't like to fly in fly at all, and then she had to fly in a small plane. But 2 weeks post was the set date for the Tiffany Hawkins trial, which is the Jane Doe number one. If you've watched the series, Jane Doe number one. 2 weeks prior to, because Aaliyah was the number one witness of that case of with Tiffany Hawkins or Jane Doe number one, whichever one you want to call it. 2 weeks before her cases or trial is supposed to start, Aaliyah dies in a plane crash. And that
Leave it. Like, I'm just gonna leave it alone.
I'm just gonna leave it there. That's all I'm gonna say. So although it, I will say this at the R&B set that I went to a couple weeks ago, they played R. Kelly. R. Kelly was definitely
I mean, people are gonna play him. People believe in his brilliance. There
just like
for
Kanye.
me,
And
for
where I'm
me,
getting is just like Kanye.
I'm like, if the
We
nigga can read, I don't like people who can't do things.
that's
So
illiterate.
yeah, no, who
Oh,
can't do things. Like if like the very basic thing, not just can't read the room, can't read the book. like, like-
so it was just the enabling, and I don't think that we should enable him. Now I can differentiate, Robert Kelly versus R. Kelly because here in DC they still play his music. So
I mean,
you know,
everybody still plays it, but for me personally, when I want to hear when a woman's fed up, what I listen to instead is Nas Picture Us Married, You and Me, K-I-S. Well, I know he didn't spell that, but that's what he spelled in the clean version. That's what
got
I
it.
listen to. And I think
Okay.
when a woman's fed up is one of the only beats that I don't think I can commit myself to never hearing again.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't that I'm just gonna
I hear music a little bit different. I speak Kanye.
that feeling on your booty beat, it just I
I think
can't
what
give that.
happens also for me is I stopped listening to R. Kelly, and when a woman's fed up, it might have been one of the last times I heard it as it was
Oh,
supposed to be.
As we knew R. Kelly
Right, and
before.
I disengaged that, I disengaged, so for me, that's the thing, but other than that, I ain't married to any the rest of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Mm,
Yeah,
I ain't married.
I
I ain't
can't
married.
listen to the I
There
can't I
even some
can't
songs where I'd be like, "Who's this?" And then people be like, "That's R. Kelly." I'd be like, "Oh, okay." Okay.
It's just that he did if that was the case, then we wouldn't be listening to a lot of people. If we muted R. Kelly the way that people want us to mute him, we wouldn't be listening to Michael
And
Jackson.
that
We wouldn't
this is why I'm so conflicted with Kanye because I don't like a lot of the things that he's doing outside
and
of his
I
music.
can't slow jams, that is put on some Marvin Gaye, some Luther drop that like I can't give that up. Like
And I
I
won't.
don't agree
And
with
I won't.
and he wrote, I can't give up, you know, I
I'm not
said,
giving
"Come
up
over with
Kanye's
your
music.
bring
Even
some."
when
I
I
got a
want to be mad
light-skinned
at
friend
him
looking
and I
like
listen to
Michael
Diet
Jackson
Coke.
and a
Rock
dark-skinned friend looking like Michael Jackson. I can't give that up.
Listen,
I can't give it up. Just
I
not
love
right now.
Pusha T. Like Pusha T. Like his wife is such a lucky woman, and he'll look like much, but that's my heart. And
Not
when I was
push it,
like,
push it, push it.
so when I was like, I don't know how I feel about Kanye. I listened to Diet Coke, and I was like, Kanye. So
Oh, I can't. I listen because I can't give up Kanye because
he's that good.
he's that good. And then there was no, essay assaults that came with
No,
it.
but
So
like honestly,
I can't give him
even the
up
stem
because
player, I'm like, yo, this stem player is some amazing shit.
I can't give him up because I'm just like I can't. I just now I wish that we can get the Kanye that gave us College Dropout. I wish that we could get the Kanye,
You want to know what it's gonna take for us to get that Kanye?
for him to heal.
Because I think lyrically, the thing that put his good albums where they needed to be was his vulnerability and him being okay verbalizing it. But he's in this place of trying to act like nothing's wrong and everything's wrong. Everything's wrong. It's all wrong. Everything. So
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I just need for him to heal so that we can get something again like the College Dropout.
and
I
I hope
need
we get to the point where he heals because a
that.
lot of
That's
the
it. I
way he
just
describes how he feels is bad.
yes. What will I eat through the wire? Because that was
Not
um
through the wire. It was with a wire.
oh through the wire. He pushed through. Um he pushed through the wire. So I just feel like if he can heal, then we'll get back to the College Dropout. It'll be as if his mom, I won't say hasn't left, but we'll get the music, touch the
You know what
sky,
killed me? He said,
step
I
in the spot, feeling extra fly.
nobody
Like
told
we'll
me
get
I was dead. The children were still talking to me, but children see the dead. The dead speaks to me in my sleep. But what about listening, Kanye? What about
I
listening to
just
what
feel
they
that
saying?
he
Because they
just
ain't telling you to do any of this shit you doing.
no, but he's lashing out because he's hurting. And I can understand that because at the end of the day we're still all human and his humanism is just amplified because of the caliber of person that he is.
And then
So,
it's magnified because we're all watching.
yes. And so I don't want
I wonder if he posted anything. He posted anything.
I don't I just feel like, I don't want to say that he's doing the best that he can. I just feel like once he heals, once he, understands that it was not his fault that his mom died, once he, heals from his divorce, then we will get College Dropout. And then I mean, listen, I won't never buy a pair of Yeezys. I won't buy the homeless clothes. However, I still listen to your music very much so. I Donda 1, 2, College Dropout. Um, I can't think of the middle album, but that
So
album too,
so this is the
all of
thing
them.
with regard to the clothes. I don't have to pay for the clothes because I feel like me and Kanye have the same vision. And when I'm walking around Mount Vernon and no one could see me from the big time city, I look like Kanye dressed me. I've been saying this for years. Like Kanye dressed me. If you see me outside and I ain't doing nothing, dressed by Kanye. Cause I be out here.
And I love it. So, that's
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 all we
that.
got.
Once Kanye heals, and then we'll get College Dropout music because then his focus will be still on the grind. But until he heals, it's still gonna be hell, he could even give us a broken-hearted album of how he got a divorce and he became a dad and married and all that, and
I
then a
think he's
divorce.
aiming for that because he's used to creating from a dark place, and
So he can take some of that energy and give us give us another album, but I need for him to heal. I need, come up in the spot looking extra fly. I need that. I need the music that makes me feel happy,
and he not
not
even looking extra fly anymore. Like, what the fuck happening? What's happening?
I need, come up in the spot looking extra fly, not God show me the way because the devil trying to break me down. I don't
Yeah.
need that. I don't need that. I need come up in the spot looking extra fly Kanye. So once he heals and if he can give us another album, God willing, I'll take it.
All right, girly. We gotta wrap this up because I want to go in my bed. But
Me too, girl. Me too. But I had to take Blaze's collar off because he was playing with his toy. But I'm ready. So next Wednesday because it's Wednesday. So next Wednesday we can do this again.
okay,
All
be
right,
around. All right, this was great. Bye,
and we out.
and we out.